son of a... I didn't change out the Q105 community mung mic.
Ew.
Yeah, hang on a minute, guys. Let me grab mine.
I see food in it.
It's just all munged up, man. I have my own microphone because I don't want to talk into this thing.
Cleveland Wheeler used to use that thing.
Yeah, plus I don't think...
Yeah, I think these have been around for a while.
I don't think that this mic sounds as good as my mic. Same brand.
It's a little less crispy, as they say. Does your shirt say "Eat clams"?
It does.
What a piggy you are!
I got
a Bob's Clam Hut shirt.
I got a Bob's Clam Hut shirt yesterday. Hang on.
Oh my gosh! I just saw you turn around to get your microphone out. I saw the back of her shirt.
Hang on, let me
unplug my Eat clams.
Hang on, I'm unplugging the I'm unplugging the Q105 mung mic. Hang on, you. All right, can you guys talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're listening to you. We can still hear you.
If you were a little more organized and professional, we wouldn't have to cover you.
All right,
clam boy.
Speaking of organized and professional, where's Fester?
All right, guys. Hey, do you hear this mic sounds crisper?
Yeah, it does.
It's the same model. It's a Electro Voice RE27, but let me put the windscreen on here.
It's a Vlasic Pickles of microphones.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this is a crispy pickle. A crispy, and it's shaped like a pickle as well. Sure I'm talking into a silver pickle. Ooh, the silver pickle.
That's a good name.
Good name for something. Yeah. I don't know what the hell it is. Anyway, folks, yeah, I got back and forth. I got to Boston and back with no major issues. You know, folks dealing with air travel over the weekend across the country.
I thought it was just Southwest, but it was more than just
No, it's
Southwest.
tons. You know, I got into Tampa International last night at about 11:15, 11:20, and we checked bags. We never checked bags, but we brought 2 huge duffels back for Chloe. We brought all of Chloe's stuff that she doesn't need to help ease her leaving school for the semester because, you know, Chloe just has another month left at school or so. You know, she comes back in, I think, mid-May. She's back, and she's done with her sophomore year. So we brought these massive duffels that she has up there with all the stuff she doesn't need. So we checked 2 bags last night, and at the Delta baggage belt at Tampa International, man, you should have seen the amount of luggage that was stacked up. There were hundreds of bags. People where the bags made the flight, the people didn't make the flight because of all the problems. They were I've never seen that many bags stacked up right outside of the Delta baggage office. And I saw Jim, by the way. Jim's a longtime Delta guy at Tampa International. And Jim's like, hey, man, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm like, hey, you'll see me again next Friday if you're working. I'm going back up to Boston.
Jim's got it on his calendar.
Back up on Friday night. So our trips were pretty good. We got delayed. You know, we had a 7:59 flight on Friday night, and that got pushed back. We didn't actually leave Tampa till 9:30, so we were about an hour and a half late on Friday night. That was part of my concern because, remember, the weather was bad in the morning. Remember I said, guys, that this stuff tends to get backed up? And exactly as I predicted, we got backed up. So we were an hour and a half late getting out on Friday night, which, no biggie, because we were just going right to the airport hotel anyway and then leaving first thing in the morning to drive the hour and 10 minutes up to New Hampshire, of course, with a stop at the Clam Box in Ipswich. Yeah, it was, hey, Froggy, it was a 2-clamtastic weekend. Hey, guess what time it is?
Clam 30? I don't know.
It's clam o'clock.
Clam o'clock.
It's clam o'clock. Hey, guess what? If I were to open up a clam stand in Afghanistan, what would I call it?
Afghana clam?
No, Afghanistan.
Yeah, clam goes in the beginning, Froggy.
Oh.
So I drive Michelle nuts.
I mean, both names are good for the
With clam
Afghanistan.
puns.
I drive Michelle nuts with all of these clams. Folks, listen. These whole belly Ipswich clams that are deep fried, and I don't eat a lot of fried food. I don't have a lot of fried food in my daily travels. But I'm telling you right now, these Ipswich whole belly, when I'm up there, I had clams on Saturday, and I had clams yesterday for lunch at 12 noon before we went to the Kittery Trading Post to check out all the Sig Sauers.
How many total clams did you eat?
Well, I had 2 large orders, so I would say
50?
I probably had a maybe 75 total clams.
A lot of clams.
Can you dip them in anything, or you just eat
Well,
them?
some dip it in the, what do you call it, the tartar sauce. Or, yeah, I'm a purist. I like my clams unscrewed with. Anyway, bottom line is we got up to Boston okay, just a little late, and then our flight last night coming back was pretty much right on time. So all good. So
Thank goodness,
I'm
because
here.
people were really struggling this weekend.
Well, I've got all the stories about Southwest, for instance. People on Southwest, man, they got and they got nailed on Southwest. I don't know, they were weather, and then they were claiming, hey, we had technology issues. What the hell does that mean?
The studio has the same problem.
Yeah, exactly. Live from the Southwest Studios. It's the MJ Morning Show. All right, Fessy, I see you have a question.
Oh, no, I'm just thinking of clam puns now.
Right. And, well, hold on to that. And were you in the studio when Froggy was making fun of my Clam Hut T-shirt? I bought a Bob's Clam Hut T-shirt from Kittery, Maine.
Of course you did.
Look at that. Look at the back. What does it say?
Eat clams.
It says eat clams. Bob's Clam Hut. All right, hold on. We're just getting rolling. It's a busy, busy Monday. You don't want to miss it. Grammys last night. I dozed in and out last night, but I did watch most of the Grammys on the airplane, which I was hoping someone was going to get hit in the face. Hold on. We're just getting rolling here. It's a pretty a clammed up. Oh, not jammed up. It's a it's a clammed up Monday here on the MJ Morning Show. Oh, let me mention the good folks over at Shorter one there.
That's pretty funny, though.
Yeah. What, the hot sauce thing?
I put that on everything.
I put that on everything.
Oh, never gets old.
That's from an actual commercial we run from, what's the name of the hot sauce?
Was it Frank's Red Hot or?
What's the hot sauce?
I put that on everything.
Yeah, cool.
Frank's Red Hot, yeah.
Frank's Red Hot, yeah. I love that.
I put that on everything.
All right, 6:17. It's the MJ Morning Show here at Q105. So, Fester, you got some more clam jokes you want to roll out?
It's
All right.
clammy in here,
Well,
always.
see, I don't know if that qualifies as a clam
No,
joke.
it doesn't. Like Afghanistan.
That's a clam joke.
Yeah. When I love my whole belly clams when I go up to New England, and I say if I open up a clam stand over in Afghanistan, I'm going to call it Afghanistan. That's a joke. Yeah. Yeah, Fester, you got a couple.
But I was just speaking the truth. It is usually clammy in here.
It is.
That is true. But
All right.
yeah, you're missing the point though on the joke aspect of it.
I want to point out how difficult it is to come up with a proper clam joke because I thought I'd have 8 or 10.
Listen, it's clamtastic, clamtacular.
All right.
Those
See,
aren't
those
that
are
funny.
lazy jokes.
What?
Those aren't that funny.
Yeah, those
no,
are
those
lazy
those
jokes.
are just words that
Right.
you clam up good. Yeah.
Who is the vice president of clams?
Oh no! All right, hurry up, man. I got a lot of things to do. Who?
Oh,
what-
I know who it is.
Who is it, Rox?
Who?
Well, say it. Say it.
Kamala Harris.
Yes, Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala.
It's pretty funny.
If you're in a clam accident,
Yeah.
who is your clam accident team?
Clam Rouge and Green.
Yes. I thought of that during your commercial.
I've had enough.
I'm out.
I've had enough. Enough of that. Roxanne, you have the Grammy Ghouls coming up.
I do.
Roxanne said you got to make time this morning for the Grammy Ghouls, and you've got a little dissertation on this. How many Grammy Ghouls are there?
I think there are 4 or 5, but these are lists of people who've done naughty things.
All right, so Roxanne wants to talk about the Grammy Ghouls last night. Who are the big winners? I was kind of dozing in and out on the flight last night. I know that John Baptiste, he's the weird dude that's on with Stephen Colbert.
So he's Stephen Colbert's band leader, and I admittedly didn't know a lot about John Baptiste until yesterday.
He seems to be a very talented musical guy,
Amazing.
but he just seems like a weird guy. Like,
you know that CBS morning show, the Sunday news show?
yeah.
They did a feature on him yesterday,
Did
and
they?
I caught it.
Where did the guy come from?
He's from New Orleans.
All right, but he is the band director. He's the musical band director for Stephen Colbert on CBS, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and that's who John Baptiste is. And he just appears to be very talented, but a strange dude. Like, for instance, those that are watching MJTV right now, whenever I happen to flip by, and I don't spend a lot of time watching the late night talk shows, but a lot of times I'm up late prepping for this show. But whenever I see him, it seems that when a camera's on him on Colbert, and if anyone's watching MJTV right now, or you see the replay, he always looks like this. He's like,
I don't know who this guy is, but I want to see him now.
Hold on.
know.
All right.
All right, so
He might be one of the most talented musicians of
right.
our time.
Hey, no doubt about it.
in his
But
own work.
I'm making the noise that he doesn't make that. I don't think he makes that. He might make that noise, but if you look at my face,
Look like Pat from SNL.
it just seems that whenever I do see him, he seems like a very odd guy.
You kind of were doing a Stevie Wonder thing.
It was. You know what? He's like Stevie Wonder with working eyeballs. No, seriously. All right. So, Fess, what are we going to say about this John Baptiste dude?
Not
'Cause
only is
he
he-
won a Grammy for something.
Yeah, he was
He
nominated.
won a
like,
Album
Grammy
of the
for
Year.
Yeah.
That's actually not a category,
No.
but it should be. It should be.
So what's his deal?
He was nominated like 13 times, like a ton of
What?
times.
For
Because
what?
he had an amazing album, a jazz album that came out,
I'm
and
sure
he
it's
also
great.
worked on the Disney or the Pixar movie Soul,
Hate jazz.
which was
Jazz.
a jazz-themed movie. Had a lot of music in it.
So he won Album of the Year for We Are by John Baptiste. So the other big winners were, where did that guy come from? It's like he was just dropped here by aliens. Where did John Baptiste come from? He just showed up one day.
Well, he's been working on Colbert's band for a long time, and then he puts out his album, and he's put out several albums.
All right.
But this one just struck right. His backstory, if anybody cares to look into it, is really amazing. But we can talk about that later.
All right. So the other big winner is Silk Sonic.
Song of the Year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so-
what's his
Record of the
face's
Year.
band. That's Bruno Mars, right?
Silk Sonic is, Bruno Mars is in that thing. And who's the dude with the mo and the Dutch boy wig on? That's not his real hair, right? That's a wig that guy's wearing.
Who?
The other guy in
I don't
Silk
know.
Sonic, the other dude with Bruno Mars. And listen, whenever I think of Bruno Mars, and the show was in Vegas last night.
I know what you're going to think.
That's a whole other thing. You realize the Grammys in Las Vegas. I saw a story, and I printed out that the stars hate going to the show in Vegas, and they called it like a schnit show without the end. They called it a bleep show even before the show even went on, all kinds of logistical problems. And I got to go through the list of, the things that are bugging the celebrities about the Grammys being in Vegas. So, you know what? I'll probably pair that with your Grammy Ghoul segment, and we'll probably do that, I don't know, 7:30, 7:45, somewhere in that vicinity. So Roxanne wants to go over the Grammy Ghouls. What is a Grammy Ghoul?
Well-
you might be able to figure it out, but we'll get to it coming up, yes?
Okay. We're not going to tell you right now. We have to wait and see.
Oh, you were about to blurt it out? I'm teasing it, you were about to blurt it out.
She was. This is a tease.
All right, so what else? We had Silk Sonic. They scored Record of the Year, Song of the Year. Then also a big night for that Olivia Rodrigo. She's a cute girl, isn't she?
You
What's
never
her
told
deal?
us what you think of when you think of Bruno Mars.
Oh, so you know what I'm going to say,
Let's not
Froggy.
forget
Yeah.
Bruno.
So Bruno Mars just scored big in Vegas last night with his Silk Sonic. And what was Bruno Mars' biggest song back when we were on FLZ? What was back in like 2010?
Wasn't there one like I don't want to be lazy?
I mean,
Lazy?
He had a lot of
Lazy
big
Song,
songs back then.
Millionaire.
Every song
Oh,
he
yeah.
does.
Billionaire.
Billionaire.
I want to be a billionaire so freaking bad.
I can't think of a non-Bruno Mars hit.
Yeah, he has
I mean,
a lot of good.
Right. He's still going. But if you remember, he had a little situation back in Vegas early in his career. This, Rox, can you look up the Bruno Mars bathroom cocaine incident?
I never heard about this
I
one.
think it was at Caesar's Palace. It might have been at Caesar's. Yeah. Just look up Bruno Mars and cocaine Las Vegas. That's all the words you need in your little Google search over there. Bring it up. And
Everybody sort of forgot about this.
Froggy, is that what you were going to?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I think of when I see him.
Yeah, Bruno Mars being in Vegas. I'm like, hey, man, he's come a long way from getting busted in a casino bathroom like 12 years ago, all coked up. I think he had like coke up all over his nose. He had,
Listen, he had a stressful gig, apparently.
Yeah, he was arrested in September 2010.
Yep.
He was found
holy
with,
crap, I said like 10, 12 years ago. I was around
Yeah.
the money.
with 2.6 grams of cocaine.
Yep.
Oh, Bruno.
And that was following his show at Hard Rock Hotel and
Oh,
Casino.
it was
in Las
Hard Rock.
Vegas.
Okay, so it
Yes.
wasn't Caesar's Palace. He was doing a show at the Hard Rock.
Now he was cleared of this charge.
He was clear.
How does that happen?
He's got like Dunkin' Donuts powdered dust all over his nose, and he's got
Right, felony cocaine possession, that
Yeah,
much of it.
He got hit with felony cocaine possession, and then what? He skated on the charges.
Yeah, well, this is Vegas justice here, so things are a little different.
He performed community service and met other conditions of a plea deal.
What happens in the Hard Rock bathroom stays in the Hard Rock bathroom.
Apparently.
Yes. A little bit of a Bruno snort right there. So, no, when I saw Bruno was in Las Vegas, I'm like, hey, the last time I remember Bruno Mars being in Las Vegas, he was coked up in some casino bathroom. I mean, literally, he was found in like the normal bathroom. It wasn't like,
We understand.
yeah, it wasn't like he was like in some celebrity backstage green room bathroom. He was like, I think, wandering out on the casino floor, and he was all coked up. And I think he walked out with white stuff all over his nose, and the cops had a bag of coke on him and
There was that
everything.
pancake powder all over his face.
Like-
It was cocaine.
Like, holy crap!
Oh, Bruno.
So that's what I think of Bruno. So that Olivia Rodrigo did well. Oh, the Foo Fighters won with the
Yeah, they
obviously
did well.
the deceased drummer, and who's the Billie Eyelash? What's her name?
Billie Eilish?
Yeah, I like calling her Billie Eyelash. But did you see she was wearing the drummer's like a full face and picture of this guy on a T-shirt that she was
The Foo
wearing?
Fighters drummer.
Yeah, it's the Foo Fighters drummer who died of got to be a drug overdose. I mean, speaking of drugs, they found like 10 drugs in the hotel room and in his system.
They actually found a pharmacy.
It was. I'm telling you, it was like a South American pharmacy in this guy's system. So anyway, Grammys, and then later on the Grammy Ghouls. Grammy Ghouls with Roxanne, and then what the problems were. The celebrities complaining, all the problems with the Grammys being in Vegas. We'll get into that coming up about an hour from now here on the MJ Morning Show. But hey, you're in luck, folks. Guess what's next? Next, it's going to be the early morons in the news. Good stuff today. PDQ is... just found? I had this in the pile for last week. I was just going through stuff we didn't get to last week, and I want to get to the story. I've got to make way for this today. I had this, and it kind of bounced around last week. Just didn't get to it. Have you guys heard of the Amazon pallet pouncers? Was I too poppy on my P's there, by the way?
No, you actually did really well.
Was that okay? Have you guys heard of Amazon pallet pouncers?
I have not, but it kind of can put some clues together with the name.
Amazon pallet pouncers. Hold on. We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. Maybe we'll get to that at the 7 o'clock segment in just a bit. I got early morons in the news here. And, there's no shortage. Plus, I have some good leftovers from last week. What did I say about leftovers? You're supposed to eat the leftovers within, 3 or 4 days? Well, I think it depends on the food, right?
Safely 3 days.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving remember that story came out? It was supposedly 4 days, I think. And after that, it could kill you.
3 to 4 days. I got to be honest. I've eaten Thanksgiving leftovers a week later, and nothing happened to me. Hey, I ate a chicken carcass that the dogs had dragged off the table, had chewed, licked, eaten, left on the floor in the kids' playroom overnight.
What's the matter with you?
And then, do you remember that story?
No, but I'm disgusted and revolted.
Oh, you don't know the chicken story?
I don't want to know it.
We told the chicken story on the show years ago. All right, hang on.
I don't remember you eating a chicken off the floor, but it really is an indication to
No.
the man you are.
Do you remember the story?
The story's coming back.
Nothing happened to me. Nothing. Zero.
Michelle picked it up and put it in the fridge, and then he makes a sandwich off of it.
Well, no, I think I was just picking the meat off the bone.
Okay.
Off the carcass.
Ew.
So the dog.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, he wasn't tricked into eating it.
Yeah.
Hold on to the thought. Let me get to the morons of the news. I just marked it down. Chicken story.
God, that's gross.
I'll get Michelle on maybe in the next segment. Maybe we'll do this will be great because Michelle and I both went to sleep very late last night because we flew in from Boston at 11:30. And I still had to print up all the prep and the stories and everything. And I'm good with 3-4 hours sleep. Michelle's not. So let's call her up in the next segment. What do you think?
Really?
Let's not. That's really mean. I would not appreciate that.
But the early crowd listening right now, they want to hear the chicken carcass story.
So you can tell it. Let her sleep.
Now she tells the story great. I think
Especially when she just wakes up.
Yeah, I mean.
Exactly, dude.
I don't know.
Absolutely, man.
I don't know if I'd take that bet right now with her all groggy.
All right, early morons in the news. I had this last week. We just didn't get around to it. And this is horrific. And Fester, maybe you can find a follow-up to this. Maybe there's some kind of a new story on the condition. Did you see some nut job whacked out woman doused a gas station attendant here in Florida with gas and then lit her up?
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, this is terrible. I don't think this got a lot of news coverage on this, did it?
What did they call the gas station attendant out to the pump?
Well, listen to this.
What the hell?
Escambia County, they put the scam in Escambia County, by the way. A woman who was asked not to panhandle outside of a Florida gas station, this was last Wednesday, is accused of returning to the store later in the day and then dousing the clerk with gasoline and then lighting her up. According to the Escambia County Sheriff's Office, the incident happened shortly after 1 p.m. Wednesday at the Circle K gas station at Massachusetts Avenue and North W Street. Sounds like a D.C. address, but it's in Escambia County up in the Panhandle. Happened in Brent, Florida. Never heard of that, but it's in Escambia County. Deputies said that Betty Jean McFadden, 30, allegedly filled a canister with gas, went inside the store, doused the clerk with gasoline, and then threw lit matches at her until she caught on fire.
Okay.
And then a second clerk came up to help put the fire out. She got some burns as well. Both clerks were taken to the hospital. One of the clerks was actually facing life-threatening injuries. And then this McFadden, this nut job, who was asked not to panhandle outside of the store, which is fully within the right of the Circle K to ask someone not to interfere and hassle their customers trying to hit them up for coin. Hit them up for money on the way out. Fester, is there an update on this by any chance? Is there anything new on the story? Because I had this story from mid-last week.
I don't see anything new other than that McFadden was arrested and she'll be charged with attempted
That's the
murder.
same story I have.
And
That's
I'm seeing she showed no remorse. So what did she say? She was just
Well,
didn't care.
I don't know exactly what she said.
I
but-
know what she said. I just found it. It's
What?
in the headline. She said, "Is the bleep dead?"
Oh, I don't have that story.
Yeah.
She said, "Is the
Yep.
maybe is the bitch dead?"
Yeah, that's my guess.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God! Well, guess what? She's not going to be free anytime soon.
It's horrific.
I'd like to know the condition of the clerk. Well, we haven't heard that the clerk has passed, so hopefully the initial assessment was worse than what this woman is facing. Can you imagine that? You're just doing your job. You're working at a Circle K, and you got some nut job, probably some homeless wacko, probably mentally ill, and they douse the clerk with gas and then light her up because they asked earlier in the day, could you please leave, stop panhandling at our convenience store? That's unbelievable.
I mean, I'm just trying to picture, like, would she so you get doused with the gasoline, then the instincts would be to run as quickly as you can far away from this person. And so she starts throwing the matches. I'm wondering if, sometimes at the gas stations, you're kind of trapped in there a little bit behind the counter. I'm just trying to picture how she would get away.
Oh, you just jarred my memory. Roxanne, you just jarred me.
Oof.
There was a movie where a crazed arsonist guy was sticking some kind of tube inside the subway booth and then blowing flammable liquor. You know the subway booths in New York?
Yeah.
Who's been in the subway in New York?
Me.
All right. So you have the big glass. If anyone knows, if anyone listening right now, if anyone knows, call us up. And Fess, I know that you can probably look it up on Google, but I'd like some listener interaction here.
Yeah.
All right. Any listener, what was the movie where a crazed, like, homicidal maniac was spraying like flammable liquid into the subway booth and trying to light the subway booth attendant on fire in New York? If anyone knows, 800-990-1047. I think it was a movie. I don't think I dreamt that. I think it was an actual movie. 800-990-1047. If anyone remembers that movie, without us looking it up, 800-990-1047, if anyone knows the movie. So what it was, this guy would have some kind of apparatus, and you have the big subway booth glass windows. So the whole front of it's like a glass window, and then there's just the little slot underneath. So you can't stick a gun in there. You can't, try to rob the attendant who's behind this thick, heavy bank glass at these subway booths in Manhattan and, well, in all the boroughs that have the subway. But this movie theme was some guy was like sticking some kind of tubing in and was blowing a flammable. Oh, look at the phones.
Every phone line.
Every line at 6:45 in the morning. Every line is going. Oh, hold on. I'm going to put them on hold here. Hold on. I want to talk to everybody.
Okay.
I want to talk, even if we get the right answer, I want to talk to everybody. All right, hold on. I just put all the lines on hold because Coop is answering the first couple of lines and all the other lines were ringing. All right, Coop, get them all on hold here. I want to talk to everyone. Look at the response at 6:45 in the morning.
Just get him on hold, Coop.
How have I not seen this movie? And I want to.
I'm telling you. So when I was talking about the Circle K horrible gas dousing, and then Roxanne, whatever you just said, you just triggered that I saw this movie like 20 years ago or something.
Was J-Lo in it?
You know what? She might have been she might have been a cop in the movie. All right, hold on. Let me go to phones here. And Fester, if you could look it up, though, and just confirm all of our listeners here.
Maybe I don't want to see it.
Every line. Every single phone line. Hey, Richard in Riverview. Hey, Richard, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Richard?
Morning.
All right, do you know the movie I'm talking about?
Money Train.
It was Money Train.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who was in that?
So,
J-Lo.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, that was Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson and Jennifer Lopez.
All right, so J-Lo was in it. All right, now, the gasoline into the subway booth, that was a subplot because Money Train was about a plan to rob the money train that in the middle of the night collects all the money from all the subway booths, right?
Correct.
But there was a maniac that was trying to light people on fire inside the subway booths, right?
Right.
All right, Money Train. All right, thanks for the call, Richard. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You bet. Man, every single line here. Hi, good morning. Is this Paul? Oh, no, this is Matthew. Hey, Matthew, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man?
All right, so Matthew, you were about to say the same thing. Money Train?
Yes, Money Train, absolutely. As soon as you said that, I was like, it's Money Train. I actually just watched the movie about 2 days ago.
Really?
I'm trying to remember.
It's a great movie, man. Great movie. J-Lo, she was right. J-Lo's in that movie as well.
All right, Matthew, thanks for listening. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
Movie is what you're saying?
You know what? I don't recall the movie being bad. Let me grab Paul in Tampa. Hey, Paul, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, sir.
Yeah,
it is Money Train, by the way.
And did you like the movie? Was it good?
Yeah, it was a good movie. I think there was a steamy sex scene with Wesley Snipes and J-Lo in it.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
You know, I saw the movie so long ago, I can't remember whether it was good, but I don't remember it being bad. And Festa, the movie came out in, 1995?
Yeah, that was its release. And
Oh, my God, that's a long time ago.
Right after the Selena movie.
Dude, that means if this movie came out in 95, that's a year after the MJ and BJ morning show debuted on the Power Pig in February of 94.
yeah, this is an old movie.
My
How long
God.
has J-Lo been in movies? My
Long time.
goodness.
Just how
Hey,
old she is.
Paul, thanks for
Tired of
checking
her.
in. I appreciate it.
Have a great day.
All right, let me grab Bill. Some of the other ones hung up. I guess they didn't want to hang on. Hey, Bill is in Tampa. Hey, Bill, welcome to the MJ Morning Show. I guess you were going to say Money Train as well?
Yeah, Money Train. Robert Blake's even in that.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man, before he murdered that lady.
Yeah,
Wasn't he acquitted?
he got acquitted.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, so did OJ, man.
I mean, listen, the juice is loose.
Yeah, exactly. All right, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
You got it.
All right.
22% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
So maybe it's not a great movie.
It's
Just want to put that out there.
Hey, good job looking that up. 22%.
That is a Rotten Tomato.
That is a nasty rot. That is ugly. Yes, Fester.
No, then I went back into some online archives. There's a story out of New York from November of 1995 where a guy imitates the movie scene.
In a crime officials say mirrored the movie Money Train, two men squirted a flammable liquid into a subway token booth Sunday and caused it to explode, leaving the clerk in critical condition. That's awful. Police said the two men poured the liquid through the change return slot at a Brooklyn subway station in the Bed-Stuy neighborhood shortly before 2 a.m. Sunday and ignited it. The clerk, Harvey Kaufman, 50, was burned over 70% of his body. That's awful.
Harvey.
That's terrible. And this was, November of 95? So that was not long after, I guess, Money Train came out. When did Money Train hit the...
November of 95.
Holy crap, it was the same week.
So the movie comes out November 25th. And the
No, the movie came out November 22nd.
22nd, I'm sorry. And the Chicago Tribune story is November 27th.
But it happened in New York.
So it happens a day or two earlier.
5 days later.
Within a week of it being released.
5 days after the movie came out, somebody tried to pull that crap back in 1995. Oh, my God. Holy, hey, thanks for all the early listeners calling in with a 22% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Wow.
On that thing. I didn't get to all my morons. That means we got to push it over to the next segment. Awesome. Oh, there is another update. I don't know what the hell is going on. The assault that happened at the track and field meet over in Kissimmee, there is another update on this story. Remember the runner that was smashed in the face and knocked over by the other runner at a track meet at Kissimmee, a week ago?
Right.
10 days ago, whatever it was.
Now, the story last week was that the person who got hit's not going to press charges.
Well, hold on. There's another update on this thing. It's crazy. All right, hold on. We're back in a second. Don't move, folks. It's the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, and it's great. When I get people emailing me... Monday. We're all intact here. I think the crew was a little worried that I wouldn't make it back with all of the air travel woes. I was not affected really on Delta. A little late getting out on Friday night because of all the weather that had backed up the system a little bit. But we got to Boston about an hour and a half late on Friday night. But coming back last night was what really mattered, and we were pretty much on time getting back. Actually, I think we popped in a little early last night, which was certainly pretty good. So I
wasn't worried a bit. If you could make it back from Egypt, you can make it back from Boston.
Well, tell that to the folks that were on thousands of canceled Southwest flights. Yeah, Southwest had a pretty big problem. All right, so I got to continue with the morons in the news and also the update on the sucker punch at the track meet over in Kissimmee. I don't know what's going on with this story, man. Every day it seems like this story is shifting, and there is a big, gigantic shift in this attack during a track meet where one track athlete attacks the other athlete during a race. I mean, it's crazy. Oh, also, the Amazon pallet pouncers, 745. And in fact, Coop reminded me that was our weekend teaser.
Was it?
Yeah, on Friday, I actually teased that to tell the story. Man, it's a great story. It's do you know what an Amazon pallet pouncer is and how you could ka-ching, how you could score? Now, listen, I'm not talking about porch pirates here. I'm not talking about the cretins that, follow the Amazon trucks or the UPS trucks or the FedEx trucks through neighborhoods and then wait for them to drop packages off on people's home porches and then running up and grabbing them. No, I'm not talking about that. This is totally legit, and people are making off like bandits. Legit and making off like bandits as an Amazon pallet pouncer. I'll explain. 745. Hang on, it's coming. You want to hear this? Because this might be a good business model for anyone listening. Hang on, we'll get to that coming up in just a bit. I guess this still qualifies as a moron in the news, but this story is all over the road. And then over the weekend, I saw an update. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? The high school track athlete who was sucker punched by another athlete in the middle of the race. Ow, son of a... Oh, Coop, I need the Bob Barker, Adam Sandler. The Price is Wrong, Bob.
Yeah, possibly the best fight scene in the history of cinema.
Yeah. See, I need denser punches. The Price is Wrong, Bob. So, this is insane. You're at a track meet, you're running a race, and you ended up getting clocked in the face and knocked over by another runner. And now we've got a new twist. Now the athlete may press charges or file a lawsuit. This is after the story last week that the athlete said he's not pressing charges, and that came from the Osceola County Police Department or the Sheriff's Office in Osceola County.
I wonder why he was so certain that he wasn't last week, and now what changed his mind?
No.
Got a hold of him.
Yeah.
Listen, son, let's have a convo.
No, I think they're saying now that the Sheriff's Office spoke on his behalf without really conveying his feelings.
Oh.
That appears to be the deal. Here's the story. The incident occurred during a 1,600-meter race at the Toho
A track meet in Kissimmee.
But, man, I love a challenge, man. It's the Toho Pecalaga Tiger Invitational in Kissimmee is where this happened, where an athlete who was not in the race got in the way of the first place runner who reportedly told the disruptor to get off the track. So the guy that's in first place that's running has an issue because some other person in the race or some other person on the track that's not even in this particular race is on the track. Yeah. So the first place guy yells, "Get off the track!"
The guy's loitering on the track, just kind of hanging out in the runner's path.
Then things escalated on the next lap when the other athlete who's not even in the race further impeded the race, prompting a shove from the runner. The other athlete retaliated by chasing him down, jumping into the race, and then hitting the guy, sucker punched the guy in the head during the race. Coop, this is where you drop it in again.
Fight scene.
Thank you. And knocks the runner to the ground. Well, the update now is that they might press charges or they might file a suit. Nathan Carter, an attorney for the punched runner, now has told TMZ that the client, the runner who was sucker punched, suffered a concussion and is now considering a lawsuit. He also said the Osceola County Sheriff's Office falsely claimed that his client didn't want to press charges. Well, that's odd. What's going on here?
Yeah, he may not have wanted to press charges at the scene, but now that he's had some time to think about it.
And he's had a migraine for like 5 days.
He's taking some BC powder.
Goodies. Please,
Good
all
again.
day.
Exactly. The family of the victim did want to press charges for the vicious attack and the assault caught on video and witnessed by hundreds of people. The Osceola County Sheriff's Office deputy told the family that if my client pressed charges, then he would also be arrested for battery. Well, remember, the original runner shoved the guy that was blocking the track.
Yeah, you put me in front of a jury of my peers on that one.
But wait a minute, is that really a battery? If some other guy at the meet is not even in this race and is blocking the flow and is impeding the race and is on the track, and the lead runner pushes a guy that's not supposed to be there off the track?
Yeah, you're going to lose time if you try to run around the obstruction, so just push it out of the way.
I think that's justified. So a deputy told the kid that did the original shoving that then got slammed in the head and concussed that he would be arrested as well. Which I don't know if that's really the case. Only because of this threat did the family choose not to press charges at the time. Local prosecutors later told them that the sheriff's deputy was mistaken. So the local state attorney's office said, no, your son would not be charged with a battery for pushing the other guy off the track. It was within, I guess, his right to push this impeder off the track.
You know, high school track meet is the kind of extra police work you give to the rookies.
Yeah.
Hey, new guy, you were working the track meet.
Now, the update is now they're considering filing charges or filing a civil suit. Or, hey, maybe, why not the Daily Double? Just do both.
Okay, so the lawsuit, who are they suing? You going to sue another student? Okay, they're going to sue the school board.
Hang on.
They're going to sue the county.
I think you name the student. You probably name the school. You name the county. All the above. You name everybody.
And there's some pain and suffering in there, probably beyond just there's probably some emotional pain and suffering he can get some money for, right? The embarrassment of everything.
This kid's going to pay for his college.
The kid has lost all memory, does not know his name any longer.
Are you making this up?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
All right.
He didn't punch him that hard.
Yeah. No, well, the kid fell down.
He gave him a good hit.
And then apparently he was concussed. I don't know if he was concussed from getting smacked in the head like this. Oh, Coop. Look at that. Coop right on the money. Oh, man. Coop, man, I came out of left field with that, and you were right there ready.
I was ready for it. I was distracted last time because I was updating the story. You can see the video on mjmorningshow.com.
So you were anticipating
Yeah, I was ready for that one.
another test.
Yes.
Well, you passed that test with flying colors, my friend. You did. All right, so we'll follow it again, and I'm sure that the story's going to change again by tomorrow because we've had 19 different another big Florida story, sort of out that way. That was Kissimmee. That was Osceola. And the horrible story with the 14-year-old boy that fell out of that ride at Icon in Orlando. Did you see that this woman scammed the media and claimed to be a relative and was doing all kinds of interviews, claiming to be a cousin of the 14-year-old kid, and the family has no idea who this woman is?
For what? What was in it for her?
I don't know.
creepy.
A woman who claimed to be the cousin of a teen who died at the Icon Park is not even related to the family. WFTV reported that Shay Johnson made petitions, held vigils, did interviews on behalf of the family, Tyre Johnson's family. The teen's mother said that she has no idea who the woman was. And she was doing interviews and claiming that she was like a cousin and started a fundraiser.
This is the most awful thing you can do.
And she was talking about his weight. And
Yes.
so weird.
This is nuts. The woman claimed to be the cousin of the 14-year-old.
It's like some weird Munchausen syndrome thing.
Do you know what Munchausen is? It's Munchausen by proxy, Froggy. Do you know?
No, I just said it, but I don't know what it is.
Froggy is typically up to date with the latest medical terminology as well as medical condition descriptions. So what do you think Munchausen by proxy is?
Well, I know what it is. I've seen a documentary.
So what is it?
It's a woman. No, not a woman. It's if a woman takes advantage of their baby or their kid.
I think it's
Any
parent.
person.
I think it's any person, but I think in this case, I think Munchausen by proxy, I think it is mostly women, actually.
The documentary I saw was about a woman who
so what is
said that the kid, they take advantage and they say their kid is sick when they're not sick so they could get people's sympathy and money. And
so
they shave their kid's head.
It's apparent mostly, I think it's mostly women that pretend that their kid is sick, or they'll do things to make their kids sick to then appear to nurture and try to aid and assist the kid, and that's Munchausen by proxy.
And what's the most, who's the woman you can think of with Munchausen by proxy who was rumored to have it?
Roxanne?
No, I do not. Of course not.
Yeah, that was my guess, too.
No, John Bonet's mother.
Oh, John Benet Ramsey.
Yeah, John
Really?
Benet Ramsey's mother was rumored to have that. Like, she took her to the doctor a bazillion times.
Anyway, back to this wacko. So WFTV in Orlando reported that the woman goes by Shay Johnson, that she's been at the forefront of all the vigil efforts outside the free fall ride where Tyree Sampson fell 430 feet while visiting the park. Law enforcement and attorneys confirmed with WFTV TV in Orlando that they're unsure who the woman really is, but that she has no relation to the Sampson family at all.
The kid didn't fall 430 feet.
Well, the ride is
the
400.
ride is that high.
Yeah, he didn't fall that whole distance. But this is where it gets even more bizarre. According to the TV report in Orlando, the woman claiming to be a cousin of the victim, the woman was fired from her job at an adult strip club in Orlando last Thursday.
What?
What?
What's happening?
I don't know. An insider reported the teen was 53 pounds overweight. Remember, we talked about that because, Roxanne, you found a story that the actual operations manual for that free fall tower ride said something that the maximum weight for the ride was like 285, 286 or something, or 287. That's the maximum. And this 14-year-old kid was a behemoth. He was like 6'5" and 340 pounds.
Yeah, I just found it. 287 pounds was the maximum weight. You're right.
So the kid was like almost 60 pounds over what he should have been to be on that ride. They should have never allowed that kid on that ride. And now we got some woman that used to work at an Orlando strip club who's going around pretending that she's a member of the family and she's holding fundraisers.
By used to work at an Orlando strip club, you mean she worked there yesterday because she was just fired.
She was just fired.
She lost her job over this.
Apparently so.
This is too much for even a strip club to handle.
Oh, my God.
When a strip club has the morals to fire somebody for doing something this egregious,
Because
you know you screwed up.
Because you're faking that you're a cousin of the victim. Holy crap.
Wait a second. I'm confused. Did she get fired because of this?
Yeah.
We don't know.
But she was fired
We can assume, though, because she was just fired on Thursday.
just this last Thursday.
Yes, she was just fired.
You got to figure.
Makes
her,
sense.
Her circle knew the news before it became national news.
Yeah.
Good job on the strip club distancing themselves from this person.
But you know
Well,
what?
it's probably a classy strip club.
I've heard of these. Remember what was it? What was the booby trap? Remember that? When I was a kid, we had relatives. Speaking of cousins, my aunt and cousins, they lived in Winter Park, and right down from them was, I think it was on 1341, whatever that road is in there. There was this building that looked like two boobs, and it was seriously. It was two boob-shaped buildings, and it was called the Booby Trap.
Huh.
It used to be a strip club. I don't know what it is now. I don't know if the buildings are still there. But back in like the late 70s, early 80s, it used to be called the Booby Trap. But there are people, folks, I know we've talked about this in the past, that you've got sickos that will like jump in and try to fake that they're a family member. There are tragedies that occur, and there are people that try to get media attention or try to steal money by pretending, defrauding people, claiming that they're part of the story or part of the incident, and they're not.
I have an update on the booby trap.
What's the update on the booby trap?
The Winter Park Commission voted unanimously to purchase it for almost $1 million and knock it down in 2015.
No.
Oh, so the booby trap was knocked down in 2015?
There's only
Yeah.
$1 million for that?
Look at this building.
You used to drive by it, and they were like two big boobs. I'm
Like,
serious.
is that the building that was in Naked Gun 1 where he goes, everywhere I look, something reminds me of her? And he looks at the...
Look at this building, Froggy.
That's the booby trap. I drove by that a bunch of times visiting my cousins
God, that's nipples.
in Winter Park, and there's even nipples on top. Seriously.
There's a weather vane on top of one of them.
It was the booby trap.
That's funny.
It was a strip club. Anyway, I don't think it was a strip club where this lady worked.
Yeah, nothing this classy.
And that's crazy. Oh, speaking of boobs. Coop, you found the story, right, Coop, about this woman that tried to use...
Yes.
I just kind of set this up.
I love this story.
All right, this story is great. And guess what? It comes from... Or at least it comes from the Village's News, where I tell you, folks, we're getting material from the Village's News every single week. All right, so why do you like the story?
Well, I was reading it. It's just so elaborate. Like, I just can't believe this woman came up with this idea.
Listen to this.
Pretty smart, too. Like, she's a smart criminal.
A snowbird used her underwire bra to try to escape from jail. Has also escaped a drunk driving conviction, apparently. Susan Mae Shepard, who's 59, she's from Massachusetts, pleaded no contest last week in Sumter County in court to a charge of reckless driving, reduced from a charge of driving under the influence. She was placed under probation 1 year, ordered to perform 50 hours of community service, blah, blah, blah. But that's not the real story here. She had been arrested when her red Lincoln SUV was involved in an accident last fall at Walgreens across from the Southern Trace Plaza in the Villages, according to the police report from the Sumter County Sheriff's Office. It appeared that Shepard, a native of Keene, New Hampshire, who was driving on a Massachusetts license, had been driving impaired. She initially agreed to participate in a field sobriety exercise, right? But refused to continue once she had trouble performing the exercises. Her breath sample measured 000. So hold on a minute.
Interesting.
Her blood alcohol was 000. She consented to a urine sample. She was transported to the Sumter County Detention Center, where she was booked on a DUI charge. She was placed in a holding cell, but a jailer discovered that she had removed the metal wiring from her bra and used it to make numerous scrape marks on the glass on the bottom of the holding cell door. She attempted to crawl out of a small opening in the holding cell door, feet first. She had to be told to pull her legs back into the cell. She dismantled the underwire in her bra to try to use it as like a lock-picking device.
She's like a MacGyver Villages lady.
All right, she managed to squeeze out half of her torso. I mean,
Yeah.
this doesn't sound like the most secure jail.
No, it doesn't.
Andy Dufresne
She
just
gets-
escapes.
She gets part of her body out of the jail cell.
Oh, my God.
All right.
It's the Villages edition. Is that lady out of her mind or what?
This lady's very crafty.
Crafty.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of admire her creativity.
And then she said, "Quick, give me a matchstick. Hey, quick, give me some chewing gum. Hey, quick, give me a toothpick."
If she had all of those ingredients, she could have busted out and hot-wired a car and
I know.
escaped. All she had was a bra underwire.
Yeah, that's nuts. You ought to see the mugshot on this lady, too.
And she's 59, so
59, yeah.
she's a spring chicken in the Villages.
Oh, yeah. Man, she's hot commodity over there.
Oh, yes, she
Yeah,
is.
she's got a date every night. All right, when we get back, we got to get into the Amazon pallet pouncers. Man, you've got to hear about this. Also, you've got the Grammy Ghouls coming up.
That's right.
Roxanne's got a whole segment planned about the Grammy Ghouls. And that's just scratching the surface, folks. We have a lot. I think we have even better stuff I haven't even talked about yet. Hold on. It's all coming up in a minute here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Everyone knows. .30 exactly. Hey, folks, appreciate you joining us. Thanks for listening. And if you could continue to spread the word that the MJ Morning Show is back here on Q105. It's really amazing. It's like still every day I'll get email from people at mj@mjmorningshow.com. By the way, if you ever want to contact me, ever have any hot gossip, any great information, if you have any content for the show, just want to say hello, you want to learn how to scuba dive, because when I got back from Egypt a week or so ago, and I said, hey, listen, I love scuba diving so much, and my Red Sea adventure was amazing. If any listeners want me to give them a personal recommendation on how to get scuba certified and hook you up with an awesome instructor, if you have any interest in getting scuba certified, send me an email. I was flooded with email. Folks saying, hey, give me a hand. I answered every single one. And listen, offer still stands. If you want to get certified to scuba dive, to me, it's the most relaxing thing in the world. And I check out scuba diving, man. There are very few things in life that I enjoy more than diving. So if anyone wants to learn how to dive, send me an email. MJ@mjmorningshow.com. That's MJ@mjmorningshow.com. But the point is, use that email address for anything, and I'm getting email every single day. Hey, man, just found out you were back. Plus the fact I'm getting all kinds of email, people seeing the new MJ Morning Show billboards that are popping up all over town about the MJ Morning Show being back here on 104.7 FM Q105, and there are still more that are going up. So over the next couple of weeks, there are even other locations where great boards are going to be going up, advertising that the MJ Morning Show is back here on Q105.
I'm seeing the one of the veterans on my work drive every day.
Does it look good? Is
Looks
it
great?
In your face?
It's in your face.
That's awesome. Anyway, we appreciate it, everyone. Oh, breakfast time. Before I forget this, I'm sorry. Listen, this is probably inappropriate. This is totally inappropriate, but when I saw this story over the weekend, I had no idea. This has been going on for like over a month. But when I saw this story, I started laughing uncontrollably. And Michelle's like, what are you laughing at? And I'm like, people are having projectile vomit from Lucky Charms.
Oh.
What? Oh, my gosh.
Exactly.
We eat Lucky Charms all the time.
Yeah,
Why is this happening?
Wait a minute. You have Lucky Charms in your house?
Last night we made Lucky Charms for dessert.
Okay, so you're the weirdo if you don't have Lucky Charms in your house.
We do not have Lucky. All right, wait a minute. So let me do a little inventory here. You've got Lucky Charms in your house.
Yeah, last night we took Bavita crackers. We put peanut butter on them, and then we put just the marshmallows from the Lucky Charms. Bavita. You know the Bavita crackers?
I thought they were Belvita.
Maybe there's an L in there.
I think there's an L in it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. It's the breakfast cracker.
Yeah, the breakfast cracker. And then we put them in the microwave and kind of melt them, and it's so good.
Wow.
With Lucky Charms?
Yeah. I took a picture.
They're magically delicious.
Peanut butter.
All right, so Roxanne, you got Lucky Charms. Fester,
Yes.
you have Lucky Charms?
I do not currently. However, we bought a special St. Patrick's Day edition of Lucky Charms that turns the milk green.
Are you serious? Really?
Oh, yeah, it was great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I bet you go to Sam's or Costco and you get the big giant, double box, right?
Yeah, you do.
My cereal purchasing habits are only buy one, get one freeze at Publix.
Ah, gotcha. Hey, Coop, do you have any Lucky Charms in your joint or what?
I haven't had breakfast cereal in a very long time,
All right,
but I used to love Lucky Charms.
All right, Froggy, any Lucky Charms in your house? Does Kim allow that in there?
Yeah, the kids enjoy a nice treat, like Lucky Charms every now and then.
Do you have a box of Lucky Charms in your house right now?
I think I finished it last week.
Well, the question that I would have for our listeners, did anyone get sick from their Lucky Charms?
I mean, after I ate 3 boxes, yeah.
No.
Sick.
I'm talking about normal use, not gluttonous use of Lucky Charms. Anyone listening to the MJ Morning Show right now, did you have any kind of illness or sickness tied to Lucky Charms? You know what? I might be alerting folks right now that got sick and didn't even know it, and now they're saying, oh, my God.
That's the explanation.
MJ's like a like a detective over here. Oh, it's been solved. We know what we got sick from. All right, here's the deal. And if anyone got sick, seriously, if any listeners had any Lucky Charms gastrointestinal problems, give us a call. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. If anyone is listening right now that had any problems with Lucky Charms, the breakfast cereal. I mean, I'm talking about blue moons, green clovers. Yeah. They're magically delicious.
They're magically delicious.
How old is that commercial?
Guess what? Apparently, they're magically pukelicious.
I mean, if you eat a ton of it, yeah.
They're magically pukelicious. No, here's the deal. Let me give you the story now. And I'd love to get phone calls if anyone had a problem here. Lucky Charms, made by General Mills, is believed to be making people sick nationwide. The New York Post has learned from reports on a consumer complaint website. At least 139 consumers across the country reported that they vomited and had diarrhea after eating a bowl of the cereal that's marketed for kids.
All right, there's nothing magically delicious about either of those things.
According to the website, iwaspoisoned.com.
That's a real website?
It's a real. The story just gets better and better. There's a website called iwaspoisoned.com. It's a website that tracks foodborne illnesses. In March, Jan Judd of Utah said that she ate a bowl as a snack one evening, and a few hours later, she was cramping up.
Oh,
she was nauseous and was up all night with the squirts.
They're magically delicious.
Oh, my God. She said, I felt lousy for 24 hours, even worse than I felt when I had COVID-19. She told the New York Post she felt worse with her Lucky Charms than having COVID-19. Lacey Pack of Freona, Texas. She gave her 3-year-old son Jackson a mid-afternoon snack of the cereal without milk on March 6th. Several hours later, he began to projectile vomit. We have actual audio that she posted online. Listen to this.
Amazing.
That's her 3-year-old.
Real pressure.
That's good stuff right there. The whole weekend, my son was like a zombie on the couch, she said. The same day, her 5-year-old daughter, Harper, had a few bites of the cereal. She came down with diarrhea. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Hey, Lucky. No.
If they had a
Lucky Charms.
You're right.
Yes. All right, let's do it again. You ready? All right. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Hey, Lucky Charms. There we go.
They're magically delicious.
There you got it.
All right, so I'm at this website, wasipoisoned.com.
No. I was poisoned.
Okay. Sorry.
iwaspoisoned.com.
Yeah, is the more inquisitive page. These stories about Lucky Charms are amazing.
They're all over the place. I'm telling you.
The night at a friend's house.
Hold on. Coop says I got to take line 1.
Yep, this is Janet.
All right, hang on a minute.
What is going on?
I don't know. That's why I'm doing this story. That's why people listen to the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Janet. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Janet.
Hi, good morning, MJ. How are you?
We are well. Did we just strike a nerve here or what?
I just got up this morning. I was like, I heard this when I was in high school. Now I'm 55. I used to eat Lucky Charms when I had to poop. I was like, this is like the greatest relief ever. So whenever my kids are constipated, I'm like, get a bowl of Lucky Charms.
Are you kidding me?
Wait a minute.
Oh, it's a laxative.
Better than prune juice?
It's a lucky laxative.
Laxative Charms.
They're magically delicious. They'll get things moving.
And the worst part is I'm married to an Irishman, so that's like really bad.
Oh, well.
Wow. All right, well, listen, your story is not directly involved with people are claiming that they're getting sick from Lucky Charms in the last couple of months, but hey, thanks for the medical update. When things are blocked up, go get some Lucky Charms.
You know, there's a Beasley Media Group employee, Meredith, who's been out, or she's going to be out today because her whole family is throwing up, and I'm just texting her right now.
Hold on. You mean Meredith?
Yes.
There's a Beasley Media employee named Meredith? You mean
you guys know?
the Meredith that I hired from Jacksonville and made her a star?
Meredith.
the fantastic, fabulous Meredith, who we love.
We love Meredith.
Who works right down the hall now.
Yes, I just texted her. I said, "How's your family, sweetie? Did you guys eat Lucky Charms?" So I'll let you know what I find out.
Oh yeah, so she's out today because the whole family's sick.
Yeah, with what they think is a stomach bug.
Yuck.
Oh my,
TMI.
Could be Lucky Charms.
So blue moons, green clovers, brown turds.
But let me.
Oh, nasty.
I just dumped that.
Are you kidding me?
I knew that was coming.
I just dumped that dump.
You say
All right?
diarrhea 100 times?
I
Did
just-
I say BTs?
Stop.
Oh, my God.
I dumped it. All right?
All right.
That would
was
be
in a-
very appetizing.
That was in a. I'm using.
This whole story's nothing about this is appetizing, Froggy.
I'm using medical terminology here.
So
anyway,
am I.
No, you're not. That was not medical terminology.
I'll use medical terminology.
No, don't.
Brown net.
Stop. General
Say
Mills.
emojis.
General Mills says it does not believe that its cereal is the cause of the illnesses, but they're investigating and they're in the middle of an ongoing review.
Well, what do you expect them to say?
Of course, this is the standard thing. They say, quote, food safety is our top priority. We are aware of consumer complaints submitted via the website and have conducted a thorough internal investigation. According to Andrea Williamson,
Yeah, I say where there's smoke, there's fire.
with General Mills, based on our food safety programs and review of consumer feedback we've received directly, we do not believe these complaints are attributed to our product. See, and I got to be honest, in defense of General Mills, in defense of Lucky Charms, I wouldn't think that it's really their cereal either.
It's been around forever.
It has been. Another consumer from New Philadelphia, Ohio, reported having, I can't say this, from the cereal, bleep from the cereal. I feel so sick. I have the shakes. 58-year-old brand from General Mills. Marshmallows come in the form of hearts, clovers, moons, diamonds, and rainbows. Began sickening people last July, according to iwaspoisoned.com. Patrick Quaid is the founder of iwaspoisoned.com. Quaid said that he contacted the company in September, alerting General Mills to all the reports that were coming in. The reports began to spike this year with 15 consumers complaining on the platform in February and 17 in March. When you have 139 cases and all people have the same reaction, that seems highly suspect, according to a food safety expert. You know, now in 2018, Kellogg's Honey Smacks, when I was a kid, they used to be called Sugar Smacks. You know,
Yeah, they got rid of a Sugar Bear.
All of the cereals that had sugar in the name,
out.
They dropped when we were kids. Think of we had Sugar Smacks. What else? There were a ton of cereals that had sugar in the title of the cereal.
Sugar Pops.
I think, well, yeah. Which one? Honey, sugar. I think it was Sugar Pops as well.
Sugar bleeps.
But Honey Smacks used to be called Sugar Smacks when I was a kid. Anyway, Kellogg, they recalled a bunch of Honey Smacks in 2018 because there was a multi-state outbreak of salmonella. 135 people in 36 states were infected. 34 people were sent to the hospital because of Honey Smacks.
All right, so there was Sugar Smacks, Sugar Crisp,
Frosted Sugar Flakes.
Sugar Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
Sugar Checks.
There were a bunch
I
of
remember
cereals
those.
that used to have sugar. They're Sugar Pops.
They're Sugar Pops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they're just called Pops today. Anyway, so if you get sick after eating Lucky Charms, they're magically diarrhealicious,
They're
apparently.
magically delicious.
Which I still have doubts that it's actually the cereal, but
I
people.
must have had 1,000 bowls of that stuff as a kid.
All
I
right.
never got sick
But
from
I'll
it.
tell you what, one of the things that came out of talking about this story is I now know about the website iwaspoisoned.com. I love that. iwaspoisoned.com. All right, now we got to talk about the Amazon, the pallet pouncers. Do you know that you can buy like mystery grab bags and huge boxes of returned goods from Amazon?
Dude, I am so into that.
What, like a Storage Wars type of thing? Like you don't know what's in it?
That
You
would
just
be
buy it?
Yeah, you just put a price on it. You don't even know what's in it.
Yeah, you can apparently go on Amazon's website or their app, and you can buy mystery boxes
How?
and return pallets of Amazon. Listen, I just went onto Amazon and I typed in return pallets, and here are some for $123 and just all kinds of stuff. And I'm sure if you do a little more digging, that you can probably find, even more. But here's a story of a couple that bought one of these Amazon return pallets for $392. Apparently is the average. That Amazon return pallets, and it's really a big box of just all kinds of return goods that would be
Oh my gosh.
would typically be disposed of.
There's so many YouTube videos of people doing this. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was like, this would be a great YouTube channel.
All right, now if you just go to Amazon and type in return pallets, I don't think you get the $300 return pallets.
You don't. You get people trying to peddle mystery boxes.
Right. But what I'm saying is that there's a way, if you do a little digging, that you can buy these boxes of Amazon return goods. And Froggy, you found...
Oh, yeah. I just found a video how to get the return pallet.
From
we
Amazon.
bought an Amazon return pallet for $650.
$650?
And got $4,000 worth of items.
Guess what? This couple, they paid $392 for an Amazon return goods box of stuff, and they ended up with over $5,000 worth of merchandise.
It's like a pallet that is like, I see have pallets that are wrapped with plastic, and
Yeah,
it's just,
but
this one's 8 feet tall.
Did they resell it? I mean, was it anything good that they kept?
I don't know. I got to watch the video.
I mean, it's one thing to get $5,000 worth of stuff, but if you don't want it or need it, it's suddenly crap.
But that's the deal. That's sort of like what Froggy just said about Storage Wars on that TV show, which
it's a risk.
The TV show is like totally faked up good, and it's like totally scripted.
Yep.
But in real life, though, these storage places that have these storage places that have all these delinquent accounts and people abandon these storage units, that's a real deal. These storage places, they do have auctions, and they'll open it up and start the bidding, and you don't know what's in it. You get to see a quick peek of what's up front. I mean, it might be a big old dud, or you might have unbelievably valuable things that are buried back in that storage garage. And it's the same principle with these Amazon return boxes and pallets, where it's just jam full of stuff. Now, some of the vendors on Amazon, some will take merch back, but there are plenty where it's not worth it, that Amazon would just destroy it. They throw it away, but instead of throwing it away, they're taking all of this return merchandise, some which is nothing's wrong with it. Just people buy stuff and return stuff all the time. So you could end up spending, $300, $400, $500, $600 and end up with thousands and thousands in Amazon return goods.
There's a store in Dade City. It's called the Dade City Bargain Barn. And they buy these pallets from Amazon, and then they sell the stuff in their store.
That's another way to do it. So that's their business model, is they're buying the return pallets themselves and then selling the merch. But individuals are buying the pallets and just rolling the dice, just gambling on this thing. But imagine you pay $392 for a pallet worth of Amazon return goods, and you end up with over $5,000 worth of stuff.
There's no way you could, make less, right?
Yeah,
so much stuff.
This couple ended up with wooden coat stands. They ended up with 30 sets of rechargeable keyboards and mice. They ended up with a whole box of plant-growing lights. They ended up with a whole bunch of wall clocks.
Plant growing? Yeah. What a bunch of crap.
They ended up with a whole bunch of rice cookers.
I mean, MG, this is stuff they have to peddle to make a profit. I mean, how many rice cookers do you need around the house? I don't know. After 4, it seems redundant.
You then sell the stuff. You resell what you just bought, and you make a profit. You got hard cash coming in. Absolutely. Amazon return pallets are a thing. All right, just a little heads up, folks. If you're looking for a little side ride, a little side business going on. All right, I got a bra story we got to talk about. It's an email that I got some weeks ago, and I was just going through email. I'm like, oh, man, I forgot to do the bra story. But it's a great story. We were talking about bras a couple of weeks ago. And then, Rox, are you ready? After I do the bra story, are you ready to talk about the Grammy ghouls?
Yeah, they're scary.
Yeah, there's
The ghouls usually are associated with scary things.
Yeah, they're scary. The Grammy.
that was a different ooh.
Yeah, the Grammy ghouls are coming up in just a bit. Do you remember what it was? What did we talk about regarding bras a couple of weeks ago? This was just before I went on vacation with you guys. When we went on spring break and you guys did what you did, I went to Egypt to scuba dive the Red Sea. But what was it? Do you remember the story we were talking about that was about bras?
I should be the one in the room who remembers, but I do not.
All right, listen to this. This person sent me this email a couple of days before we took spring break, and it got lost in my pile, but I found it. I'm like, oh my God, we got to do this story. Listen to this. MJ, my sister-in-law came to visit from Chicago and thought we'd do something nice for my wife. This was some years ago when Oprah came out and said 80% of women are wearing the wrong bra size. My sister-in-law thought that she would get my wife fitted for a bra. They went to a well-known department store. Once they got, and I know what it is, it was J.C. Penney. Once they got to the women's intimate section, a very nice lady approached them and asked if they needed any assistance. My wife says the lady had a measuring tape around her neck, so they said, sure. She's an expert in the bra department, right?
Oh, no.
In parentheses, it says, can you see where this is going?
Oh, no.
They proceeded to a fitting room where my wife took her shirt and bra off. The assistant measured her for a bit and brought in a few bras for my wife to try on. After a few minutes with the assistant helping the whole time, they decided to purchase a few new bras. Feeling overjoyed with the personal assistance and attention they were given, they proceeded to the checkout. My sister-in-law is a big believer in rewarding people in the customer service industry that go above and beyond for the customer. So she asked the cashier to please put in a good word to the store manager for the wonderful bra-fitting expert that they had who helped them just a few minutes earlier. There was a deer in the headlights look from the cashier who said, we don't have a bra-fitting assistant at the store. I have no idea who you are talking about. They went back and looked around, and the assistant was gone.
Oh, my God.
The cashier asked if they caught her name. In hindsight, they said she did not have a store employee badge on. The cashier asked if they needed to call the police.
Do they?
My wife and sister-in-law just left the store totally embarrassed. Moral of the story, make sure to check to make sure that the store has a bra fitting specialist before you get fitted for a bra by an employee in the store. Oh, my God.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out this woman who measured her and saw her boobs. Was this like a crime of opportunity? She just happened to have something around the tape measure around her neck. I mean, was she planning to lure people in to measure them? Like, how did this transpire?
Well,
she didn't have no bra on.
Coop, what is that?
I don't know. It's in our library.
She didn't have no bra on.
I know exactly what that is because I'm the one that ordered that clip be pulled.
What is that from?
It's from David Allen Coe.
Oh, God.
The Dancing Bear.
All right.
That's Pusher Betty. Driving a semi. She didn't have no bra on.
I would think that guys would try to do this, but I think women would be leery. But there must be women out there that want to see other women naked, or they want to touch other women's boobs.
Maybe she's just a good Samaritan and she wanted to help this woman find a bra.
No, I think this is fetish related.
Okay, hold on.
I think this is totally fetish.
The measurer had no idea what the other person was going to say.
Exactly.
I'm walking around with just measuring tape around my neck. Hey, do you guys need any help? Yeah, I'd like to get measured for a bra. Or no, I'd like to get measured for pants or something like that.
You know what? Something came up on the show a month or so ago where I talked about Hyde Park Village and the old Jacobson's department store.
Right.
And I said that Michelle once got fitted for a bra there We were talking about it and how Michelle had the wrong bra size until there was an older lady who was known as the bra fitting expert at the old Jacobson's in Hyde Park. And it's long gone. And that's, I think, why we brought it up. And that's why the person emailed this story. But can you imagine that? A woman faking being an employee with a tape measure around her neck, and she wants to measure women's chests and see them naked and make bra recommendations, and she doesn't even work. The cashier says, "What bra fitting expert? We don't have a bra fitter here."
And it's been a while since I've been fit for a bra, but I don't even think they make you take your bra off unless it has like a lot of padding in it or something. You can get a bra fitting and leave your bra on.
Before we move on, maybe we ought to see if anyone wants to call in on this. Does anyone have anything similar? Has anyone been defrauded by a fake bra fitter ever?
Defrauded.
Defrauded, yeah.
MJ,
800-990-1047. Does anyone have any comments on this? Anyone have anything similar? I don't expect we're going to get a flood of phone calls, but I thought, hey, maybe. 800-990-1047. Is that not a crazy story? 800-990-1047. Yeah, Fester.
I'm just thinking, the person with the measuring tape had no idea what they were getting themselves into. She didn't say, hey, can I help you find a bra? She says, do you guys need any help? The person could have said anything. I mean, what's the crime here other than being very helpful?
The person is in the bra department. They have one of those, flexible tape measures around their neck. Clearly, they were looking for victims. They were searching for prey.
What's the crime besides being helpful?
It's misrepresentation.
And then you see boobs.
She never said, I work here. She wasn't wearing a badge.
You think it's normal for a woman to show up at a department store in the bra section in the intimate apparel area and just say, hey, have you been fitted? Come to the dressing room. Disrobe. Take your clothes off. Let me see you bare-chested. Let me measure you.
She didn't ask for any of this. She's just being helpful. The time that I wore a red shirt to Target and the people thought I worked there and they asked me where electronics were and then they wanted me to talk about TVs and I did. Did I commit a crime? Did I represent that I work? I was being helpful.
You wore a red shirt to Target?
I wore a red shirt and khaki pants into Target, not knowing I was going to Target that day. And I'm walking around. I don't have a cart.
They probably thought you were a Heinz ketchup end cap.
And he's like, excuse me, sir, Mr. Ketchup end cap. And I was like, yes. He goes, do you know what? He doesn't ask if I work here. Right. He says, if he said, do you work here? I would have said, no, I just picked awful wardrobe today. He said, do you know where electronics are? And I go, yeah, it's right back here.
He said, hey, Kool-Aid.
And then,
hey, where's the Kool-Aid? Hey, Kool-Aid.
Then I bust through a wall. But then the guy's, I'm in electronics with this guy. I mean, he's like, well, which TV do you like? I'm like, I kind of like this one.
Guys, Coop's got lines on hold here. Hang on, let's go to phones. Let me go to Fester. Can you bring
maybe
up
other people are a victim of the bandit, the boob bandit.
Hang on, I don't have a name on this line, but I'll grab it. Hi, good morning. Who's this?
Hello?
Hi there. Yeah, who's this?
Hi, my name's Tessa.
Tessa.
Yeah, my son, I had him 23 years ago. And when I was at the hospital, I had a male student nurse come in and help me with my breastfeeding. And he was touching my nipples and everything. And I was totally freaked out. But I was like, oh, he's a student nurse. It's okay. And then later that night, I was saying to my actual nurse, like, I was really freaked out by it, but he was really helpful. And she's like, there were no male student nurses on the floor.
Oh, my God. Where was this?
In Lakeland.
Man, we were molested.
Oh, my God. So
sorry.
Some guy got into the hospital and pretended to be like a lactation expert for a new, a new mother, and it was just some random guy that walked into your room?
Just some random guy, I guess. They never really figured it out.
How can he get into that area, though?
Video and everything.
Hold on. You called the media, or they called them? The media was involved?
No, not the media. I mean, but the hospital security. And
okay. How about the police? Were the police involved?
Yeah, because they have no idea how he got on the floor with the babies and the mothers, and how he was just walking around freely like that.
Oh my God, that is unbelievable! And you said it was 23 years ago?
Yeah, my son is 23. So, yep, 23 years ago.
Oh, my God. That is crazy, Tessa. Thanks. I mean, that's kind of similar to the bra. That's maybe worse than the
What do
bra
you mean?
lady.
He was feeling her, touching her.
I know.
I mean, the bra
Milking
lady's
her.
trying to be helpful. This person's in a hospital.
Tessa, thanks for the call. That's crazy. See, you have no idea the calls we're going to get here. All right, hang on. Phones are. I got more calls on hold. Hey, Carrie and Joanne, hang on. I'll be right there. I just got to mention that the MJ Money Machine is back, and this hour's word is digital. 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 Text it nationwide to 45911 before quarter after for a shot at $500 cash. Or if you enter it on the Q105 app, you could win an extra $10,000 on Q105. So good luck. The MJ Money Machine is back. All right, man, I had no idea we were going to get phone calls on this, but listen, I always toss stuff out there. Carrie's in Tampa, and then Joanne, I'll be right with you. Hi, Carrie. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hi. Hi, guys.
Hey, Carrie, what happened?
I used to work for a department store in the lingerie department, and I kind of had an opposite experience with an old lady that needed help.
What happened?
Like trying on clothes. Well, we didn't do fittings or anything like that, but she needed help trying on her bras.
What happened?
Yeah, it was kind of a crazy experience, and then she kept saying, well, this is how you're going to be in 50 years. And I'm like, okay.
And did she ask you to measure her?
No, she just asked me to help her put on the bras.
Wow. And then with all of the, I guess, gravity issues, she was pointing out, hey, sweetie, enjoy it while you can because this is what you're going to look like. Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. How old were you at the time?
I was in my 20s.
It sounds like you're still in your 20s.
No.
How saggy were her boobs?
All right, Froggy, that's enough. That's enough.
It's a legit question.
She's probably
that
dead
was
now,
her point.
Froggy.
That's what she was trying to get everybody to realize.
Carrie, thanks for the call.
What happened?
Let me go to Joanne in St. Pete. Joanne, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, it's Jillian.
Hello, Joanne.
I never had a boob pirate, my boobs, but I have had a fake doctor put an IUD in me.
Stop it.
At a VA hospital.
What?
Yes, they're like, oh, we don't have any record of it. I'm like, well, you can call my boyfriend at the time and ask him.
Can I ask where? I don't want to get too specific. Well, where did it happen?
I don't want to say. I'd really rather not. It's a good VA. It was just one bad apple.
Was it local?
Yeah.
All right, so when you say it's a
That
good
narrows it
VA
down.
and it's local, I can only think of two.
It's not in my record, so it's.
Oh my! See, wait a minute.
Yeah, they didn't you have to go through enrollment to go to the VA, and
yeah.
I had just gotten out of the Navy, and I was like, I need to get an IUD because I just had a baby.
Oh, wow!
And they're like, oh, just go, over there. That's where you go. And I walked into the gynecologist, and they were like, oh well, okay.
And you had this thing installed, and there's no record of anyone or any doctor.
I have no idea who it was.
Oh my God!
So did they do it
really
the right
weird.
way?
Oh yeah, I mean, I ended up having it pulled out, but they also told me I only had 4 months of, VA care. I mean,
Can I ask you a question? Was it properly installed?
well, it wasn't. I don't think so.
Okay, well,
Oh, wow.
I mean,
my.
and they didn't like that I'd had an abortion, so they told me I had only 4 months of VA care. So that was.
My.
But I was calling about the bra thing. I mean, bra fitters. I've had a professional fitting. And they can just look at you with the bra on. I mean, they don't have to go. When I had my fitting, she said, what size bra are you wearing? And I was like, this is a 36 double D. And she goes, well, that's not the right size for you because you're falling out of it. And so let's try you out on a 36F,
Wow.
And she just nailed it, And so, and I mean, she didn't have to look at my, or touch me.
Right.
You could do a bra fitting as long as you don't have a bra with a lot of padding. If you have like a sheer bra on, they're just going to measure around your rib cage. below your
Yeah.
boobs, and then they can do it without taking your bra off.
And by the way, before I let you go, I would like to thank you for your service in the United States Navy.
Yes.
Coop, do you have a little musical tribute here?
Can I give a shout out to Tessa?
Oh, yeah. Do you know Tessa?
I think that was my best friend. I think my best friend just called me.
Wait a minute, Tessa? Wait a minute, you're best friends with Tessa?
I think so. I think that was her, yeah.
You guys both have bra stories.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, hold on. Little tribute to you in the Navy. In the Navy, village people, ladies and gentlemen.
Talk about guys running around in bras.
Hey, I'm sure you've heard this song before, right?
Yeah.
How long you been out of the Navy?
Oh, gosh. I don't want to date myself, but it's been over 20 years.
Wow. And then what rank did you leave?
E3. I just went into...
Gotcha. All right, hang on. Here we go. This is for you, everybody. In the Navy. You can get a fake IUD in the Navy.
Well, no, at the VA, you can get the fake IUD.
Oh, MJ, you're killing me.
All right, yeah, it's not the Navy.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call.
I have a friend who was in the Navy. He says it's nothing like this song.
All right, one more before we move on. I got to get to Roxanne's Grammy Ghouls.
Yes, we do.
Got Grammy Ghouls coming up in a minute. Kathy is in Tampa. All right, final call on this. And, folks, if you're just tuning in, just a quick little recap. I mentioned an email that I gotten before spring break, and I had found it in my bag. I never got to the email. A person was telling a story how they went to a department store to buy a bra, and a woman comes up to them with a tape measure around the neck and said, "Hey, have you ever been fitted?" And they proceed to go to a dressing room, take off all the clothes. The woman's like touching her and measuring her chest. And then they go to check out with the new bras. And they said, "Oh, yeah, we'd like to thank you. Your bra fitting specialist was great, and she measured me." And the cashier says, "We don't have a bra fitting specialist." It was just some woman hanging out at the lingerie section measuring other women and touching their boobs. So, anyway, let me grab one more. Kathy's in Tampa. Hello, Kathy.
Hi, good morning.
Hi there.
Monday.
Are we entertaining you this morning?
Oh, yeah, always.
Thank you. Go ahead, Kathy.
Well, my question is, the person that did the fitting at Penny's, did she get the bra size right?
It's a good question.
That's it. Well, obviously she did, Kathy, because the woman went to the cash wrap with multiple bras she wanted to purchase.
And was happy with them.
Very happy with the fitting. She was so happy they wanted to commend the bra fitter to the store manager. And that's when they found out we don't have a bra fitter or a lady running around with a tape measure.
I just think it's funny that the two adult ladies didn't know you have to be bare chested in order to get fitted for a bra. I mean, you really don't.
Yeah.
Cedric doesn't do it.
And that's what I'm learning here. All right, Kathy, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
Again, what's the crime here? She's just being helpful. She never said I work for JCPenney's. She never wore a badge. She never did
I'll tell you what. Let's ask for more calls here. If you're a police officer, if you're an assistant state attorney,
yes, the DA is
if you're a lawyer, call us up right now.
I guess
if you're any of those three, call us up right now, 800-990-1047. Fester wants to know, what is the crime? What if somebody doesn't work there and is just hanging out and fitting women for bras? What is there a crime?
Is it a crime to be helpful?
800-990-1047. So if you're a cop, if you're a lawyer, if you're an assistant state attorney.
A judge. If you're a judge.
If you're a judge.
Well,
800-990-1047. Sorry, Rox, go.
Oh, yeah. I guess the question becomes, was the woman who emailed you who got fitted for the bras, was she comfortable showing her boobs only to someone who officially worked at JCPenney's, or was she comfortable showing her boobs to a helpful nearby shopper?
Well, I don't think she's going to randomly show her boobs to other shoppers inside JCPenney. I see your point. Listen, if anyone knows from a legal standpoint, Fester's like, hey, what's the crime?
Well, what do you put me on this jury? This lady gets off. I mean, she's being helpful.
There's got to be something here. There's got to be something illegal about that. If anyone knows, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. But first, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for, we're not going to go over all the Grammy Awards and who won this, who won that. I just know that I have the list here, and Silk Sonic, including Bruno Mars, and the guy that looked like he had like a Mo from the Three Stooges.
That is weird.
Dutch boy paint haircut, whatever the hell that thing was. So Silk Sonic won big. Olivia Rodrigo won big. The Foo Fighters won big. And of course they got their situation with their dead overdose drummer going on. So those are some of the biggies. But Roxanne wants to spend some time talking about the Grammy ghouls. And then there was another story that I have that I'm gonna parlay off of you in just a second. I have a story where the headline was Grammy weekend in gross-ass Las Vegas is turning into... What are you laughing at?
Gross-ass Las Vegas.
Well, that's the headline. I have an actual headline, a story, Grammy weekend in gross-ass Las Vegas is turning into a nightmare. Hold on, I'll get to that in just a second. All right, Roxanne, it's all yours, the Grammy ghouls.
Okay, first thing I want to say, there are 4 of them that we're going to go through.
Yep.
But, MJ, there are like a range of ghoulish behavior. So we're going to start with the baby ghouls, and then we're going to graduate to the grizzled ghouls.
The grizzled ghouls.
Yeah, graduate, yes. Okay, so first you have...
What qualifies as a Grammy ghoul?
Well, I think if you've been
I think
canceled,
you like
scandal,
you like the alliteration.
Yes,
All right.
I do.
Okay.
All right, so a ghoul definition is a demon-like being or monstrous humanoid.
Originating in pre-Islamic Arabian religion, associated with graveyards and consuming human flesh. That's the online definition.
Okay.
All
Okay,
There were
that's a little
zombies at the
severe.
awards?
All right, so it fits perfectly. All right, so tell us about your list of Grammy ghouls.
Well, to stay in theme with the Grammy nominations, 4 nominees for the biggest Grammy ghouls. So we're going to start with the baby ghouls. Okay, so first we have Dave Chappelle. And Dave Chappelle, he has more of a controversy and sort of a scandal associated with him because, of course, he had his Netflix series where he made transphobic comments.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
And they were trying to cancel Dave Chappelle because he had some transphobic comments with his Netflix
In
deal.
his comedy act.
In his comedy act.
Right.
So then he was going, he's supposed to do some speaking engagements and he got canceled.
I got to be honest, though, for the most part, I think they canceled him at some schools or something, but I think Dave Chappelle is one of those kind of guys that's somewhat bulletproof.
And again, he was doing this in his comedy routine, as Fester just pointed out.
Okay.
So
he was nominated, right?
Yeah, he was nominated in the same category as Obama, actually, for Best Spoken
Word. Yeah.
He did not win.
Did the president win?
Who won?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't think it matters.
It doesn't
Anyway.
matter. Whoever won wasn't a ghoul, so I didn't look at what they did.
Spoken word, is that like an audio book or something? Or
Not that far off.
Yeah, what is that?
MJ,
What, like,
how the hell have you not won a Grammy for spoken word,
Yeah,
MJ?
you speak
yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
words.
Seriously.
I ought to win a Grammy for spoken word. What's
Oh.
going on? Those Grammys are a fraud.
It
All
was
right.
Don Cheadle who won.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So who's the next Grammy ghoul?
The next, and I'm still going to call him a baby ghoul, is Kanye. And of course, we know all the things he's done as of late with his menacing tweets with Pete Davidson and making the videos
Oh, he's
that are
chopping off
alarming
Pete
and chopping
Davidson's
off his
head. Yeah.
Right.
That's pretty ghoulish behavior.
That's pretty ghoulish. And don't forget, you can look back in time. He and Kim had a lot of controversy, with her sex tape. I
Right.
think he was coming after. Who did she do the sex tape with? He was going after him.
Right.
And he ran for president and had some meltdowns. So
I voted for him.
right. A lot of people did.
She didn't vote for Kanye West.
You want to bet? I wrote him in.
Did you really?
Did I have that great a choice in 2020? Kanye got my vote.
All right. So
Kanye won 2 Grammys. He wasn't there, but he did end up winning them. Okay, so now we're going to move on
is
to
that whole Donda project?
Donda, yes.
Gotcha. All right.
So we're going to move on to the serious ghouls.
Oh, are we climbing up the ghoul ladder now?
Yes. Now we can freely throw the word ghoul around.
So we're in the ghoulivator? We're pushing the top floor in the ghoulivator?
We're going to the penthouse.
let's go to
where the
floor
elevator is.
13.
Yeah,
This is scary.
The 13th floor, the ghoulivator. All right, go ahead.
And we got to talk about Louis C.K.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is interesting. When I was researching him, I didn't realize. Did you know it was Roxanne who kind of opened the floodgates when it comes to him? Because in 2015, she was in an interview and she said she'd heard stories of him locking the door and doing his thing in front of women.
That's right. So
And-
on
yes.
tour, he'd be on tour with other female comics, right?
Yes.
And he allegedly would do really personal acts. Like
I don't know if it's allegedly because I think he admitted to some of this.
okay, yeah, okay. So take allegedly away. So he would
do his thing.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: from the beginning to the end, and
don't get too descriptive
No,
there,
that's-
Roxanne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quite the ghoul.
So you get the idea. But he had consistent behavior. It was like the exact same story with each of these 5 women who came against him.
And he got canceled, and his career was dead for a couple of years, and now Louis C.K. is making a comeback
in the Ukraine.
And
okay, he had a tour date in the Ukraine.
Yeah, that was canceled. But
he's very big in Kiev.
But he actually won a Grammy
He
last
did
night,
win.
right?
He
won
win
a Grammy.
Best comedy album.
I think it was off the air. I don't think it won on the air. I think it was like in a ceremony held before the broadcast Grammys, the winners were. And I think Louis C.K. won a Grammy last night. So Variety actually, hang on a minute. I saw something a little while ago. Hang on a minute. That there was a story about Louis C.K. about how cancel culture is canceled. So cancel culture is canceled because Louis C.K. was canceled, and now he just got rewarded with a Grammy.
Well, Kanye was he nominated or did he
He
win
got
last?
2. He won 2.
Kanye wins last night. He's a nutcase as big as they come these days.
Yeah,
Louis
but I don't
C.K.
think
walks away with
I don't
hardware.
think that he's like been
Sexual
borderline
predator.
sexual predator.
Different kind of crazy. There's a bunch of ghouls. There's a wide spectrum of ghouls Roxanne's going over.
All right, so Louis C.K. was whipping it out and doing really bad things in front of women.
Says he lost $35 million of income because of all of that. But like we said, he's
Well,
making a
and
comeback, and now he's
I'm supposed to feel bad for him?
Exactly.
Here he's like trapping women backstage in dressing rooms at shows, and he's dropping his pants. And he's, I don't feel bad for him losing $35 million in income.
Okay, well, let's talk about who is the ghouliest ghoul of all.
The ghouliest ghoul of all.
Is that an official title?
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the ghouliest ghoul of all?
That would be.
Hold on a minute. I gotta add some effects to. All right, go ahead.
That would be Marilyn Manson. And he was nominated for a Grammy in conjunction with Donda, right?
Yeah. Him,
Is that it?
him and Kanye.
Is that true?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did stuff with Kanye.
So crazy Kanye is hooked up with Marilyn Manson, who's been accused of. Do you have the list of what Kanye or what Marilyn Manson's been accused of?
Yes, it is just shocking. And this does read like a horror film.
Now, is it
because-
clean for broadcast?
We'll find out.
No, most of it is not clean for broadcast.
But here we go.
But here we go. And so he has like 15, 16 women who have come out against him and made claims against him. And starting with the very famous Evan Rachel Wood, who dated him for a while.
Oh, that's right.
So his big thing beyond physical abuse, which we won't get into all the graphic stuff of that because it's traumatizing, but he does all this psychological abuse. So he'll like meet a woman and say, I love you, come on tour with me. And within a week of knowing them, and then he like locks them in rooms, makes them hook up with his friends.
What?
Tells them horrible things. I mean, I'm going to kind of stop here, but let's. Well, just does horrible, does horrible things and said, "Baby, this is our thing," So it's a lot of psychological abuse.
Get back in that room.
This is our
Exactly.
thing.
And then he was nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah.
So the point is, should people that have been accused or people that have been confirmed to be really seedy weasels, should they be nominated for awards like
All
this?
right. So the Grammy chief comes out when the nominations were made back in November. And he said, we do not look at people's histories.
All right.
They only look at the art.
Yep. There you have it.
Interesting.
Well,
yeah.
Canceled celebrities virtually, or celebrities that they try to cancel that were nominated for Grammys.
But this is the perfect time for Matt Lauer to come out with like a spoken word book or something.
Matt Lauer will be nominated.
He could really make a comeback that way.
He's nominated next year, right?
If the Weinstein tapes win next year, I'm just quitting the industry altogether.
But listen to the complaints. And Fester, you seem to be pretty entertained by the headline, Grammy weekend in gross-ass Las Vegas is turning into a nightmare. This was a Page 6. Page 6 is the gossip section of the New York Post. It's been around for decades and decades and decades. And that was their headline.
Gross ass Vegas.
Grammy weekend in quote, they have a quote, gross ass Vegas, because somebody used that in the description of Las Vegas being used as turf for the Grammy Awards. It says the music industry wants out of Vegas. Grammy weekend in Sin City is turning out to be a real mess because the Grammys were not in the Staples Center in L.A. They were not at Radio City Music Hall in New York.
Please call it the Crypto Center, the Crypto.com Center.
Whatever it is now. Grammy weekend in Las Vegas, a mess, according to several industry insiders. Quote, people are stressed and frazzled running up and down the strip. There are multiple conferences going on, a big poker event, and getting luxury cars for artists has been a disaster, according to one of the celebrity sources. The 64th Annual Grammy Awards was originally supposed to air on January 31st from the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles. You happy, Fester?
I am.
The Recording Academy, however, was forced to reschedule and move it to the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas due to the coronavirus pandemic. The move has caused the action-packed weekend to descend into chaos because, quote, no one wants to go to that gross-ass town, a music flack told us.
Yeah.
Do celebrities consider Las Vegas, quote, a gross-ass town? I have not been to Vegas in, oh, my God, how long has it been?
Comes off that way to me.
It's been too long.
I don't think I've been to Vegas
I've never been.
The last time we were in Vegas, the kids were young enough we took them to Circus, which I'll tell you what, that place was a hole. That place was like just a click above a porta potty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Circus.
We didn't stay there.
Okay.
We didn't stay at Circus. We took them to the amusement dome at Circus.
So Vegas is a good time, but for all of these top-level musicians in a town that's also having the hardware convention and a poker tournament and
Hey, we do have our hardware convention there.
I know, you're right. Froggy, that's why I brought it up. You mentioned it as a Vegas thing, and you avoid it.
For the first time, and I avoid it every year.
But
when is the hardware convention?
Oh, shoot.
When's it coming up?
It's over the summer.
So you're going to go to gross-ass Las Vegas for the hardware convention?
I don't go
but
to
the
Vegas.
same way that this summer's the hardware convention, there's like the turbine manufacturers of North America are having their convention this week, and then there's Billie Eilish not smiling at anybody like, oh my God, this is gross ass Vegas.
You know, I love playing craps. I love craps, but I have not been to Vegas in, I think this is 2022. I don't think we've been to Vegas since maybe 2008, 2009, 2010, somewhere in that vicinity. It's been a long time. Hold on a sec. I think Michelle would know.
The last time I was in Vegas was 2014, October of 2014, and Obama was there when he was president.
What was Obama doing in
He was golfing.
He was golfing in gross-ass Vegas?
He was golfing at Shadow Creek.
Really?
Listen, the only people who think it's gross ass Vegas are all these upper crust celebrities where in LA, they totally cater to them. In Vegas, you're calling for a car service. They don't care.
Hello?
Hey, what was the last time we were in Vegas? How many years ago was it?
Many.
Well, like maybe 2008, 2009, 2010. It's been a long time, right?
It's been a long time.
Yes. In case anybody's writing the MJ biography, we have to know the exact year.
Well, the reason why we're talking about this, Michelle, is I was reading a headline from a story from the New York Post over the weekend that, and listen to this, Grammy weekend in gross-ass Las Vegas is turning into a nightmare. Because the celebrities apparently don't like it. And I'm glad I have you on the phone because you can help us with the chicken story in a minute. But the move has caused the action-packed weekend to descend into chaos because no one wants to go to that gross-ass town, according to a music flack industry insider. Even the outfits are upset to be there. Listen to this. Stylists are having meltdowns because there are no expert tailors like Los Angeles. And they have to lug couture gowns and tuxedos through smoky casinos that smell bad.
Oh, I like the smoky casinos. That's my best part of Vegas.
Amid the music people problems, artists are also having to scale back their entourages due to the limited credentials this year. and there'll be serious shortages of big music label parties. The consensus is there's not much going on, and no one really wants to go to Vegas, according to another industry insider. Wow. So all kinds of important, rich people, celebrity.
Yeah, cry me a river,
yeah.
you rich, spoiled.
Well, I mean, that was also one of the things that crossed my mind. Is like, oh no, there are not enough luxury cars. Well, just get it in Uber. Get it in the back of a nice Toyota Camry. All right. How about that?
Why don't you go down to Las Vegas Kia? Pick yourself up something.
Well, see you at a Kia.
Yeah.
At Las Vegas Kia.
Just rent it for the weekend. Give him back.
Exactly. I want to finish up with the Grammys, but Michelle, hold on a second. I guess Trevor Noah.
He was the host.
He was the host. And Michelle and I were actually watching on our Delta flight because we flew in from Boston last night. We flew Boston to Tampa, and literally the Grammys came on right when we were taking off. So we were able to watch pretty much the entire Grammys. I dozed in and out, so I fell asleep a couple of times during the flight. But here's some audio. This is Trevor Noah. Actually, I saw this. Trevor Noah, who hosted the Grammys, I think second year in a row, he actually got a little bit of a subtle Will Smith smack joke in. This is Trevor Noah last night. Listen.
We're going to be listening to some music. We're going to be dancing. We're going to be singing. We're going to be keeping people's names out of our mouths. And we're going to be giving out awards all throughout the night. So, let's get straight into it.
Did you hear that? We're going to be Fester, you hear that?
I did.
We're going to be keeping people's names out of our mouths, as in?
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
That was his little subtle dig on that. So
he talks very fast. Very, very fast.
Yep. All right, so Michelle, why did the chicken thing come up this morning?
We were talking about
food poisoning.
Foodborne illnesses.
Yeah. How long is food good for? Is it good for 3 or 4 days?
Well, okay, we said
Was it Lucky Charms or was it before that?
Before that.
What was it?
We were talking about leftover stories you had from last week.
Oh, okay.
And you said, they're still good because it's less than 3 days. And then Froggy says, hey, leftovers, Thanksgiving leftovers after 4 days aren't good for you. And then MJ says, and he goes into the chicken story. And
I didn't get sick.
You didn't get sick from the grossest chicken story in the history of poultry. Michelle, is there a grosser story in the history of modern chicken cultivation?
No.
Michelle,
Even the vet was laughing hysterically.
Yeah, our
Dr. Gray.
Dr. Gray at the vet.
You go to a vet?
What?
I thought you saw a regular doctor.
No, for our dogs, you dummy.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
The veterinarian for our dogs.
I was like, why would you go to a vet just because your dog licked the chicken?
All right, so Michelle.
Well, the dog did more than lick the chicken.
All right, tell the chicken story because Michelle, you heard her. All I had to do was say chicken story and she's already laughing.
So when the kids were little, I used to have to take them up right after dinner, and we had gotten a couple of those rotisserie chickens from Publix.
Yep.
And so we left the kitchen table, and I said, "You're going to clean this up?" You said, "Yeah." So I took the kids upstairs. I was bathing them, got them all settled for bed and whatever. And I came back down, and there's no chicken on the table. So I assume you did clean it up. The next morning, when I come to let the dogs out and whatever, they both made a beeline for the playroom. And I was like, what the heck? So I go running over there, and sure enough, there's one of those chickens sitting on the floor in the playroom.
I'll tell you what, isn't that amazing? They know their memory from overnight was so good, they knew that chicken carcass was still somewhere in the playroom, so they made a beeline right there.
They have
dogs live for.
They have dog noses. Their nose is like 1,000 times stronger than yours. They smelled that chicken all night.
I know they have millions and millions of more smell receptors or whatever. I know. All right, go ahead, Michelle.
So I realized that some of it has been eaten, obviously by them, at least Romeo. And so I just grab it, and because I was busy getting the kids ready for school, I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, how much have the dogs eaten? Could there be bones like all stuck in their, I don't know,
throats
intestines and stuff? Right. So I grab it.
It's like the dog bone in the throat sound.
I grab it. I throw it in some plastic bowl from one of the kids. I put it in a Ziploc, and I throw it in the back of the refrigerator real quick.
All right, so folks, do you have an image of this? We had rotisserie chickens the night before. They were still on the table, and Michelle took the kids up to put them to bed. The chickens were still on the table. Michelle thought I was going to be picking up the chickens.
Because you said you would.
I guess I was a little tardy in picking up the chickens. In the meantime, the dogs grabbed one of the chicken carcasses off the table, dragged it into the playroom, and they were just going to town on the chicken carcass that they had on the floor in the kids' playroom. All right, go ahead.
When I saw them, when they went after it that next morning and they were just like licking it and gnawing on it, it was so disgusting.
Right.
So anyways, I just throw it in the refrigerator real quick because I'm thinking, okay, I just get the kids to school. When I get back, I'll, call the vet. I'll figure out what to do. Should I take the chicken over there so they can kind of see, like, are the dogs going to have to be x-rayed?
See which bones are missing off the chicken carcass?
Right. So I go in and take the kids to school. I go and work out, and I come home, and you're already home. And I go and open the refrigerator, and the chicken bowl has been removed. And I was like, oh, no. So I go into your office, and I think you had made your Japanese rice as well, and so you were having, like, the chicken on top of the rice.
Yes.
And so I said to you, hey, you didn't eat that chicken out of the refrigerator, did you? And the look on your face, because you knew the way I said it, you were like, yeah, why?
Yeah, of course he did.
There was still plenty of meat on the chicken carcass. So I pulled the chicken carcass off and I put it on top of my Japanese koshi hikari sticky rice for a nice, delicious lunchtime snack.
Uh-huh. And I said, well, that's unfortunate because it was sitting on the floor all night after the dogs had apparently taken it off the kitchen table, and I found them this morning licking and gnawing on it. And so I just threw it in the refrigerator to, for evidence in case I needed it, to help diagnose something what's wrong with the dogs.
My God.
But the point is,
I never got sick.
You never got sick.
Nothing happened to me.
Thank goodness.
Iron stomach over here, I guess.
Yep.
So that's the point. So that whole deal, Froggy, that you brought up, how you're not supposed to have Thanksgiving leftovers after, 3 or 4 days?
It was the story that came out.
He's not making this up. He doesn't work in a food laboratory, MJ. It was published.
I don't like people that say laboratory. It's a laboratory.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only say laboratory to piss people like you off.
I know that.
Thanks, Meech.
Hey, Michelle, are you pretty sad about Estelle Harris dying?
Of course.
Now both the Costanza parents are gone.
Oh.
Do you realize that George Costanza's dad, Jerry Stiller's gone? And now Estelle Harris is gone. Coop, you put together a little, tribute montage, right, of George Costanza's mother, correct? How long is this thing?
There's a couple clips, and honestly, I didn't realize how funny she was until I was watching these back to back, and I was listening to them, and I was like, wow, she was her timing was very on point.
Oh my God, it's the best.
Yeah, she's pretty funny.
But because listen, the Costanzas arguing, George's parents, the Costanza parents arguing, it reminded me of my grandparents. It was totally my dad's mother and father would argue just like this.
I feel a draft. Let's change tables.
Get out of here. We have a booth.
Frank, I'm cold.
Order a hot dish.
Why can't we sit over there?
That's not a booth.
So who says we have to sit in a booth?
I didn't take the subway all the way to New York to sit at a table like that.
I didn't take a subway to be in a drafty restaurant. I don't know how you're going to write all those shows. And where are you going to get all the ideas?
Would you leave him alone? You'll shatter his confidence.
I don't need any ideas. It's a show about nothing.
Nothing, please. I'll tell you the truth. The whole thing sounds pretty stupid to me. I always talk about your hands, how they're so soft and milky white.
No, you never said milky white.
I said milky white! Who told you you could have sex in our bed?
Well, my bed is too small.
Your bed is too small? I'm gone 2 weeks and you turn our house into Bourbon Street?
Where am I going to sleep?
What are you talking about?
I can't sleep in there.
Of course you can.
I can't.
There you go. Estelle Harris is dead at the age of 93. She was also the voice of Mrs. Potato Head.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that you guys grew up with her as the parents on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I grew up with her as Mrs. Potato Head, and she was also people my age know The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody on Disney Channel. She was a recurring character on that show too.
Really?
Yeah.
a ton of things.
Yeah,
Anyway.
she's been in a bunch of stuff.
Michelle, do you remember my grandparents?
Of course.
Weren't they just like that?
Do you remember your grandmother Franny had an argument with you because when we first got engaged and she said, Todd, are you going to give her an allowance? And you were like, what does she need an allowance for? What are you talking about? And she was berating you, telling you how you needed to give me $250 a week in case I wanted to buy a blouse. And she spoke just like that to you and screamed at you.
I know. My grandmother sounded just like Estelle Harris, George Costanza's mom. Oh, and then Coop, you found, speaking of bras, earlier today, you found the bra scene from Seinfeld with Estelle Harris.
Yeah, and this one's funny too. Like it's just another version of them bickering. It's great.
I hear.
So I talked to Phil Kasikoff today.
Bill Kasikoff?
Yeah, you know, my friend, the bra salesman. He says they're looking to maybe put somebody on, so I got you an interview next Friday with his boss.
Next Friday? What time?
2:00.
That's my whole afternoon. I was going to look for sneakers.
You can look for sneakers the next day.
He doesn't know anything about bras.
I know a little.
The bra scene. All right, Michelle, anything else before I let you roll?
No. See you when you get home.
Oh, Prolon. When are we going to do Prolon?
Oh, yeah, so Roxanne ordered Prolon. That's the fasting mimicking diet thing. And Roxanne wants to do it with Michelle and me. We haven't done it since early part of the year. So, Michelle, when can we do Prolon? Because Roxanne wants to do it with us, like as moral support or something. I don't know.
I know. Well, I told her don't do it without us. But I can't do it when I said I was going to do it now because my parents are going to be here for her birthday. So I can't do it that week either.
Okay, so we're going to push it back a week.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so there you have it.
Like Easter Sunday will start or that Monday.
We'll see if I can last.
Easter Sunday.
All right, so
no Easter dinner for you.
I'll tell you right now, Michelle. Roxanne will gladly carry the Aspen 7 for another week.
Yeah.
She comes back from vacation. I was like, Roxanne, how was your trip? She's like, it was amazing. I put on 7 pounds.
I think I lost 2, but yeah, I still have 5 pounds of Aspen.
When I go skiing over Christmas typically, but we didn't go this year, I lose like 10 to 12 pounds because I ski 14 days bell to bell, 8:30 until 4 o'clock every single day.
Do you drink a bottle of tequila a day as well?
No, I do not.
Roxanne was living a little bit of a different life in Aspen.
And were you toking up and lighting up on the slopes as well? Were you bonging it up good?
No,
right.
but everybody there does that.
I know.
She's only edibles.
All right, Michelle, talk to you later.
All right, see you later.
Bye. No, seriously, for years now, I mean, I'm talking like a decade, skiing at Vail, there's been the whiff of marijuana smoke well before the legalization.
Oh, yeah. No, but I did
there.
talk to my ski instructor about it, and he said that everybody there pretty much does it. I was like, is this, it's allowed, so
Everybody
does everyone
everywhere
do
does it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
Festa, what's the status of the people that were struck by lightning while leaving the Yankee game on Saturday?
So they left in stable condition, but they were taken away in an ambulance to a hospital.
Can I point something out? We had 2 people that were struck by lightning. They were leaving the Yankees complex. I guess they had parked over at the Ray J side, right?
Well, you park at Raymond James
Right.
Stadium, you take the bridge over Dale Mabry.
Right. Or you could park over at the Yankee Stadium. I've done that in the past as well. So let me get this straight. They went to a Yankees game. They get struck by lightning. You would think that they would be at a lightning game.
Well, it's funny you say that
That's
because
funny.
when I was at an event yesterday, I heard people talking about this, and they said 2 people leaving the lightning game got struck by lightning.
No.
Got struck
2
by
people.
baseballs.
People leaving the lightning game got struck by Yankees. or baseballs, I guess. Yeah. But
They're okay. I saw the girl post.
Yeah, they're okay, right? I mean, we wouldn't be joking about.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, we wouldn't be joking about.
They're not from here. They came to visit.
Really? From where?
Where was this? I think they're from. I don't know.
I gotta know where they're from.
They're not from Tampa, but they came here specifically to go to that game.
A man in his 60s and a woman in her 20s were transported to the hospital, and they're in stable condition.
What is she? Is he a sugar daddy?
I don't
It's
know.
her dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Are they family? I didn't even know they were
sorry.
together.
Maybe
Sorry.
he is.
Yeah.
All right.
So the game was called in the 6th inning
Because of the weather.
because of the weather.
And then they end up getting struck by lightning, not at a lightning game, but at a Yankees game. Holy, well, listen, I'm glad they're okay. Hey, I was struck. Not
No, you weren't. Struck by lightning?
Yeah.
What?
I was at 2049 Thomas Bishop Lane, Virginia
Look at
Beach.
his face. He got all dejected looking. Does he have PTSD from it?
Guys, I was not directly struck.
Yeah,
but
you did get a sad puppy dog face when you had to tell
Well,
the
listen,
story.
guys, I've told this story before. 2049 Thomas Bishop Lane, Virginia Beach, Virginia. That was my parents' old house. I grew up in that house in Virginia Beach. That was our second house. We built that house, lived in Haygood Point first, then we moved over to Great Neck. And I went out to get the mail. I was in either 10th or 11th grade. I went out to get the mail because, you can hear the mail truck. The mail trucks have always had that distinctive, they have a very distinctive rumble. Remember the mail trucks, the mail Jeeps back in the day? You always know when it's the mail truck.
Like 10 houses away, you knew.
The UPS truck. The UPS truck has a sound as well. And I know, just by listening, I know what truck is out there. So I go out to get the mail in Virginia Beach. This is like 1982 or 83. And I go out to the curb, and it was overcast. We were expecting rain. And right across the street, directly across the street, there was a white single-story house. And the gardeners were in that yard. They had like 2 or 3 gardeners. The lawn guys were there. I go out to get the mail, and the next thing I know, there was this massive explosion. I remember this unbelievably bright, bluish white light, and we were all knocked to the ground. The lawn guys and I was knocked down on the street. I was on the pavement, knocked down. So we did not get struck directly. I don't know if it was like an airburst right above our heads, but I was knocked to the flipping ground with the biggest bam boom and I've never ever experienced anything like it. And I think that was my brush with nearly getting struck by lightning in Virginia Beach circa 1982-83.
And that explains why your hair was frizzed out for your entire adolescence.
It explains my high school yearbook photo. Looks like I stuck my finger in an electrical outlet. That's what that... So, Froggy, you believe me now or are you going to berate me?
I mean, it still sounds fishy.
I mean, he's sticking to the story pretty well.
There's nothing fishy about it. I've told that story verbatim several times.
I mean, you've been stabbed by an ice pick.
Yeah.
Lightning has struck you.
Also
This is just insane.
Also in Virginia Beach, a crazed drug-induced whack job stabbed me in the parking lot of an Amoco station.
I mean, it's amazing you're alive.
At First Colonial Road and Laskin Road.
Did you get a spider bite and it gave you superpowers?
No.
I mean, come on.
No. But, hey, I hope that the 60-year-old and 20-year-old are okay after getting struck by lightning. And if they are daughter and father, I'm sorry to insinuate that the 60-year-old was a sugar daddy.
It's pretty creepy.
All right, I'm sorry.
I mean, if you and Chloe got struck by lightning, the news report would read what? A 56-year-old?
56, yeah.
56-year-old and 21-year-old were struck.
No, she's 21 in August.
Okay, so a 56-year-old and a 20-year-old, and then some snarky DJ in the Quad Cities of Iowa, like, hey, what is he? Her sugar daddy? See? It's not fair.
All right, speaking of weather, man, this just fits in nice. Man, this show's just falling together like a puzzle today. Like when you find that puzzle piece and you feel good, it fits.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not cramming and jamming something in there that doesn't fit.
Froggy's a crammer and jammer.
Yeah, he is. Did you see the video of the meteorologist up in D.C. that literally picked up his cell phone and called his kids in the middle of a tornado warning up in D.C. last week? Did you see this?
No.
Listen to this.
What did he say?
Washington, D.C. weatherman for NBC4, which is the NBC channel, O&O up in D.C., he was on the air broadcasting a tornado warning. And this was Thursday night. The meteorologist there is Doug Kammerer, 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 right?
Say it like the news announcers. Doug Kammerer with weather.
Tonight on Channel 4 News, it's Jerry Flicka-Flacka, it's Marnie Bliggle, and Doug Kammerer with weather. on Channel 4.
I'm Doug Kemmerer in for Jerry Flickerflacker. He has the night off.
Here's the audio. There's a tornado warning, and what happened was he's tracking the weather, and he can see the street-by-street breakdown and realizes that the tornado is coming right across his neighborhood. He can actually see the street. Yeah, Coop.
Well, I was just going to say, I have the audio whenever you're ready.
Yeah, we got the audio right here. So this is the audio. This is the meteor. Oh, you have it?
Yeah, I have a better version.
All right, so this is the meteorologist in the middle of his weathercast where he's warning the whole, Washington, D.C. area about this tornado warning. Listen to what happens. Roll the audio.
Massachusetts or Wisconsin Avenue. Kent, you there, buddy?
Yeah.
All right, hey man, I want you to get down in the basement. We got a tornado warning. All right, so I want to make sure you and Callie get downstairs as soon as you can. Okay? Yeah, get down there right now. Get in the bedroom down there, and just kind of wait for like 10, 15 minutes. Okay? Do it now. All right, thanks, buddy. All right, so that was got to warn my kids because I know where my kids are doing right now. They're probably online gaming and they're not seeing this. So we have a tornado warning. Hopefully they saw it on their phones. Many of us got it on our phones. In the newsroom, I heard.
Yeah, my kids are gaming right now. In fact,
I'm in the middle of a game of Fortnite, Dad.
In fact, my son is gaming so much he's got D's in most of his classes in high school.
Dude, if your dad's the weatherman, you know he's crying wolf with this. He's like, Dad, come on.
But it was a tornado warning, meaning it wasn't a watch. It was a warning, meaning that a tornado had been spotted or confirmed that there was a tornado on the ground. And he sees this thing running right through his neighborhood, right across the street where his house is in the D.C. area.
Whatever, Dad. You always worry about the weather.
I can imagine if that happens here, Paul Delgado's getting on the phone to call his dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's Paul's dog's name?
I don't know, but I feel like I know him.
Scud.
No, that's
Scud. Scud.
No, that was Roy Leap was Scud, the weather dog. Yeah, my dog is Scout.
Roy Leap didn't will Scud to Paul?
I thought it was cute.
Scud's not 40 years old.
I thought it was cute though that the meteorologist
adorable.
That he calls his kids live on the air.
Yeah.
Humanized himself.
Oh, I think it's great.
And now everybody knows he lives off of Massachusetts Avenue in the Washington, D.C. area.
Knows the whole thing. Oh, no. Looks like Trump might be facing a day in court. Let me give you the audio clue here on why Trump. Hey, Coop, give me the whole song. Bring up the whole song before I play the hook. Trump, and let me know, give me a signal when you have the whole song, and you can play it from in there. Trump could find himself in court because of... Stop! What song is that? Does anyone know?
Electric Avenue?
How the hell did you know that with just those beats?
Was that all right?
Yes!
I don't know. It sounded like it.
Hit it again. Hit it again.
Well, now that you said it, I can hear it.
I thought it was Macho Man.
I thought it was YMCA.
We gotta wait for
Macho.
All right, roll it again. So Trump could find himself in court because of... Now, if I let it go to that point, then you instantly know it's Electric Avenue. Oh! Yeah, so Trump is in trouble with this guy, Eddie Grant.
Now in the street there is violence, and lots of work to be done.
Kind of works. Out of the street there's violence. This is the January 6th song.
Oh, my gosh.
No, but here's the deal. Trump may face a day in court thanks to a lawsuit from reggae singer Eddie Grant because Grant sued former President Trump and the campaign over the use of Electric Avenue in an ad back in 2020.
Electric Avenue.
And in the ad, Grant's song plays over an animation of Joe Biden traveling slowly in a hand car. That's on the train tracks, that old hand car, right? Where they're pumping the...
Yeah.
So there was an old campaign ad, and the Trump campaign train passes Joe Biden at high speed. The train goes by, and Joe Biden is on one of those hand pumper cars, and this song is playing.
We gonna rock on to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take
And according to Eddie Grant's lawsuit, as of 1 September 2020, the video had been viewed more than 13.7 million times. The tweet containing the video had been liked more than 350,000 times, retweeted more than 139,000 times, and received nearly 50,000 comments. Grant claims copyright infringement and seeks $300,000 in damages. And Trump has not been able to get the suit dismissed yet.
We gonna rock on to Electric Avenue.
And lawyers for Trump, they say, hey, fair use, saying the ad was satire, exempt from copyright law, and used footage reposted without knowing its origin. So bottom line, this could be going to court.
Of all the legal threats and lawsuits he's had, it's funny, this one is the one that will stick.
This is the one that's making it to trial.
He gets rid of all of them, doesn't he?
This could actually go to trial. Eddie Grant versus Donald Trump.
Eddie Grant's a reggae artist? I had no idea.
That's a reggae song, dude. What are you?
That's not a reggae
It is
song.
a reggae song. It's got
Really?
reggae over it. Yes.
Okay, is Eddie Grant a one-hit wonder?
He did "Romancing the Stone." Remember that movie, "Romancing the Stone"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he did that song as well.
Hold
on.
is that a hit?
Hey, dig that up. Well, I'll play it when we get back. All right, folks, hold on. We got a lot of stuff. We still have a whole hour to go, and I still have total A-list material. Stand by. Don't move. We got an hour to go. The MJ Morning Show returns in just a matter of moments. Oh, one other thing I want to mention before. MJ and a crew. If you want to set your clock, time at the tone exactly 9 o'clock. The Crap Watch never stops. This is the Crap Cast. What do you like that? The Crap Cast? I like it. The Crap Watch never stops.
I mean, it's true.
This is the Crap Cast.
It never stops.
Listen, I got a lot of crap to get to. All right, MJ Morning Show, 9 o'clock exactly, here on a Monday. Another whirlwind. You know, I haven't had time to, catch my breath. I got back from Egypt the previous weekend, and then Michelle's got me running off to New England to go check out Chloe's soccer game. And, she forced me to eat a couple of, boxes of clams.
And by a couple of boxes, you mean like 85 of them.
Speaking of food, a couple of things here. Roxanne, you were before I get into, I got a pile of celebrity stuff we got to get to. Also, the airline mess. A couple of interesting things regarding the airlines and lost luggage, which I found fascinating. This is a good cliffhanger teaser. Which airline is most likely to lose your luggage?
Ooh.
Which airline is most likely to lose your luggage? Hang on, get to that in a second. You did what? The Taste of South Tampa, and you were a judge over the weekend?
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was yesterday. I was a professional eater. There were almost like...
Great. Hold on a minute.
Yes.
Hang on a minute. So you were already complaining about gaining 7 pounds over spring break in Aspen, where you should have lost weight because you should have been burning calories on the Aspen slopes.
Right.
Among the hoity-toity.
I should have been, but no, I put on some extra LBs there. And then yesterday, I would have had to have put on extra pounds because there were like 30 participating restaurants, and I tried all of them.
You were a judge, right?
Yes, I was a judge.
So you had to sample from each of the vendors or all of the participants, and then score them?
Yes. And speaking of iron stomachs, I was thinking my stomach is not going to hold up for, you're talking all different kinds of foods, Peruvian, Indian, desserts, everything. And I felt great, but I did eat a lot, obviously.
30 different places?
At least, yes. So I have to tell you.
Were there any standouts?
That's what I'm about to tell you. I didn't stick around.
Are you telling me to put my pants back on?
Well,
I'm always telling you
like
to do
Louis,
that.
like Louis C.K.
Figuratively, yes, she is.
Hey, Louis C.K., put your pants back on. I'm about to get to that. All right, go ahead.
So I'm trying to find out who the winners were because I left yesterday, or, the event went until 4:00 and I scooted out after I ate all the food and made my votes.
So you didn't stay to find out who won?
No.
Roxanne's like, I have to leave at 3:45.
Wait a minute. So you don't know who won?
No, I'm actually.
Weren't you?
What
wait,
the
you were
hell?
A judge.
You're a judge?
Look,
you're talking about on the show. You don't know who won?
I'm about to tell you who won in my eyes. What
No, I
else?
need
What
to
other
know.
I was one of the judges. What other commentary do you need?
Is it online? Have they posted like who actually won?
Okay. I just emailed the CEO of the South Tampa Chamber. I just looked on their website. I just looked on Facebook. I don't see it yet. So I'll let you know. But I do have to tell you, one of the restaurants I tried, District South Kitchen and Craft. Have you heard of them?
I have heard of it. District South Kitchen and Craft.
Yes, they're on Dale Mabry
Where?
in South Tampa.
I have heard of it.
Yeah. And they had the most amazing, like greasy potato chips with pimento cheese and then coconut shrimp with this amazing sauce. So I always get a couple of restaurants. Most of these I know, like I know Chicken Salad Chick and Cruise Cellars. And I know all these restaurants, but I always get a couple that I've never been to, and that is on my list now. So
Where is District South Kitchen and Craft, Fester?
it's near Palmacia.
It's just north of where the Selman reaches Dale Mabry. Looks like it's just north of the Lowe's and the Publix Plaza. North of El Prado.
Oh, okay. It's between El Prado and Bay to Bay. Oh, I know where that is. That's the old Cuban place. I know exactly where that is. Yeah. I know where it is.
Highly recommend it. And I also
What else
recommend
stood out?
7th and Grove Hospitality. That's in Ybor. I've never been there.
Is that South Tampa? Does that qualify?
Well, they pulled him in from Ybor.
All
So I guess so. Oh, and then Oddfellows ice cream. Now, it's not Todd Schnitt ice cream. It's not MJ ice cream. But it was so yummy because it was vanilla ice cream, and then they put salt and
Olive oil?
Olive oil
Yeah,
on
I've
top
heard of
of
it. Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
I have not, but I've heard of it.
Ooh.
All right. So where is this Oddfellows ice cream located?
That I didn't even Google it yet, but it's on my list.
Oddfellows is
in Alabama.
No, it's in Hyde Park.
Okay.
It's in Hyde Park.
Hyde Park.
All right.
There you go.
Well, there we go. And so they brought you in as a judge, and you didn't even stay to find out who won.
No, she went down there. She ate like a glutton,
Like
right?
an absolute glutton.
And then she pieced out. She's like, "Deuces, bitches, I'm out of here. I gotta go."
Turned in my slip, and yeah.
And then Fester, you also were making noise about some kind of, I don't know, Tampa Bay Taco Week. What is that?
I just found this out. This week we're in the middle of Taco Week here in Tampa. A bunch of
Serious?
a bunch of restaurants. And you type in Taco Week Tampa. I didn't know you were going to talk about this now, but yeah, there's a bunch of restaurants that are giving taco deals.
From Creative Loafing, the Food Week is one of many organized by the outlet with a focus on featuring local restaurants.
Yeah, Creative Loafing. Oh, yeah, they're local centric.
Yeah, guests can enjoy food and drink specials at participating restaurants until Sunday, April 10th. And I guess it's Tampa Bay Taco Week.
Yeah, so it brought me to thinking, when was the last time you had a taco in this town?
I had a taco recently.
Really?
Yeah, what's the place on, Donia's, and then they closed up, but I think they might be back open. And then you've got that taco place just north of Henderson, which is next to is that Bearwood Furniture place still in there? It used to be in there.
That place at the end?
Yeah. They do a good job in there.
So I'm looking on the website. Roxanne mentioned 7th and Grove, but there's about 20 other restaurants, and you can go to.
Yeah, they closed the taco bus in South Tampa. There was a taco bus right across from the brand new Publix on Gandy and Manhattan.
They closed it?
Yeah, they also had that Carrabba's and Outback to go in there. They closed that too. That overhead thing just munged everything up.
Tampa Bay Taco Week. You can see all the restaurants. You go in there, tell them you're there for the taco special, and you'll get some good stuff.
Today, Chad Chronister, the sheriff in Hillsborough County, is going to hold a presser. This is something we've talked about. Thousands and thousands of dollars worth of gasoline has been ripped off with one of these gasoline theft operations rolling around Tampa Bay.
How?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, we talked about them siphoning it out of the ground with like a trailer.
Yeah, that's
old school.
But they do that. And then also, they're also drilling holes in gas tanks and stealing diesel and gas that way. But one of the more sophisticated old school ways is to pull over the in-ground fill tanks at the gas station. You know when you're at the gas station, you drive over those things that go clink, 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 and it's those big metal manhole caps. And a lot of times they're different colors, and you've had thieves, and this even goes back to the gas price increase, a dozen years ago, where 10 years ago to a dozen years ago, they will pull over. They'll have a trailer or a truck, and they'll pull over in a gasoline gas station parking lot. They'll pull over the fill tanks, lift up the manhole covers, and drop hoses down into the underground tanks that feed the pumps and siphon gas into containers and tanks inside like trailers.
Yeah, but this scam, MJ,
with trap doors on the bottom. Yeah, this one.
This scam, MJ, is not limited to Hillsborough County. It's the whole area.
It's happening in Polk. It's happening in Pinellas. It's happening all over the place. In Pasco, you had 4 men that were busted in Pasco for using a device to manipulate the pumps into dispensing gasoline at a fraction of the amount. So it's not only the ground siphoners, it's not only the folks drilling holes, there's apparently some kind of an electronic device where maybe like a monkey paw.
Like a decimal mover. Like instead of $4.19 a gallon, it's 41 cents a gallon.
I think something similar. Like in a casino, the old monkey paws.
What's that?
A monkey paw was with the old style slot machines in Vegas. The scammers in the casinos would take this little metal wire, like they called it a monkey paw, and jam it up into the machine and get machines to pay off and do all kinds of things. So they have some kind of device that they're able to screw with the electronics of the gas pump and get a whole lot of gas for a whole little bit of money, apparently.
I'm glad they caught these guys.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office working with the Highway Patrol, the Florida Highway Patrol, they took down what they call an organized gas theft ring. And then later today, Chad Chronister, the sheriff in Hillsborough County, is going to hold a presser to talk about how vast, how big this racket was. Maybe we'll get the sheriff on tomorrow, post-presser today.
How did they unload the merchandise? Psst, you looking for some gas?
Well, there's a whole racket with diesel. You know about red diesel versus non-red diesel? You know about that whole racket?
No.
Yeah.
Red diesel.
Yeah, diesel.
Like a Marvel movie.
No, diesel. I want to get this right. Fessa, look this up as I speak. But diesel that is taxed, like road diesel, I believe is dyed red. Do I have that right? So diesel that's used for like farm equipment is different than red diesel. Or maybe I have it back. All right, you have it? All right.
I just started looking. I see a picture of a guy pumping red
hold
diesel.
on. This is Motor Trend. The headline on this one says it all. We're on a mission to define what red diesel fuel is. Give us some examples. From a composition and chemical standpoint, red diesel is actually called cherry juice in some places, is exactly the same fluid as number 2 diesel that's used in trucks, buses, and some cars on roads. The big difference is the red fuel is used for engines that power off-road. Okay, so the red, I had it backward. The red diesel is used for off-road diesel, which doesn't get taxed the same way that the non-red diesel that powers trucks and vehicles on the road is taxed. So I had it exactly backward.
All right, so what's an off-road vehicle?
Like a farm tractor. Like a axial flow combine or something. That kind of deal.
What about a John Deere?
A Caterpillar?
If it's got a diesel engine, there's sketch, yeah.
I don't know.
I like picturing these people talking about their cherry juice.
Hey, what airline is most likely to lose your luggage?
Oh, I don't want to call an airline out wrong. I don't even want to guess. Don't say Spirit.
Yeah.
I had an embarrassing almost lost luggage story when I came back from Aspen. Or no, when I was on my way there. We split up. I'm like, Doug, take Evelyn, go get the rental car. And I was going to take my time walking out with Daviana. So we get to Daviana and I go to get luggage and it's not there. And I go up to the front and I'm talking to the women at United and I'm like, why is my luggage not here? And I'm not going to say I turned into a Karen, but they couldn't find it anywhere in the system. And I'm starting to freak out. And I didn't text Doug because I didn't want to stress him out. And then 20 minutes later, he shows up and they'd already picked it up. So I'm near acting like a Karen to these United ladies.
Really?
And it's because he and my daughter already grabbed it.
All for naught, Roxanne.
Mm-hmm.
You jumped the gun.
Karen.
Is what you did.
Karen.
You're a gun jumper.
I'm
You know
not-
what?
I'm so sorry.
Karen.
What was that? Let me hear it again.
Sit down, Karen.
Once again.
Sit down, Karen.
That's Roxanne. That's actual audio from Roxanne's flight.
I know.
Imagine though, I had all my ski clothes. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
United employees are really sad for you.
The airline most likely to lose your luggage. This is ranked from most likely to lose your luggage to least likely. The worst airlines for baggage handling are coming in at number 1. I'm going to start at number 1 here. American Airlines. American Airlines most likely to lose your luggage.
All right, hold on. What airline?
Did they have that jingle? We're American Airlines doing what we do best. Lose your luggage.
Lose your luggage.
Apparently.
All right, is American Airlines the number 1 carrier in the country?
They are the largest, I believe, because remember, American joined with U.S. Airways. So I think they're the largest U.S. carrier by, I think, fleet and flights.
So is that why they're the most likely? Because they're the largest?
That they handle the most?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking at this. Ranked from most likely to lose your luggage to least likely. American is number 1. Hey, can you find that jingle? We're American Airlines doing what we do. That was American, right?
Sounds familiar.
We're American Airlines doing what we do best.
I don't
think
think
so.
I've seen an American Airlines commercial in a while.
I think you're right. All right, so number 2 is Envoy Air. Now, Envoy, they're a commuter airline, and I think Envoy feeds to some of the big carriers. I've been on Envoy flights. Typically, they're your little, the CRJ, the little regional jets is what they fly. Oh, did you find it, Fester? Do you have it? Go to the very end. It's gonna be the jingle at the very end.
Cities in 9 different
all the way to the end.
The airline that can get you to your business as early as tomorrow morning. American Airlines. Something special to Europe.
Oh, that's the European commercial.
Yeah, something special in the air was another one. Coop, do you have it?
I do. I just found it.
Was I right? Was that American?
Yes.
All right, hit it. Go.
American.
We're giving our best. We're giving you our best. Yes, we're American and we're giving our best. No matter where we fly, we're up to lead the rest. Yes, we're American and we're giving our best. We're American Airlines, doing what we do best.
Apparently lose your luggage these days.
What a passive-aggressive statement that is.
What?
We're doing the best we can. We're doing what I do best, all right? I'm doing everything I can to get your damn luggage to the conveyor belt, all right? I'm doing whatever I can, all right?
American number 1. Envoy, the second most likely to lose your luggage.
Never heard of that.
I told you Envoy.
I know you
it's
explained it.
commuter. I've been on, but it's a lot of times Envoy has the like the Delta logo on it.
Okay.
Or it'll have. Look it up. Look up Envoy. It's the
largest regional carrier.
Hold on. Maybe they don't do Delta. Maybe they do American. Envoy is the largest regional carrier for American.
Wait
a minute.
Hold on a second.
So hold on. Big American Airlines, and now the commuter feeder also. They're the second most likely to lose your luggage.
We have an MJ Morning Show investigation here. We just uncovered something.
My God.
American and their number 1 American Eagle essentially is Envoy.
Yeah. You're right. All right. Number 3, Republic Airways. Number 4, Mesa. Number 5, SkyWest. Number 6, PSA, which I thought PSA was bought out years ago. Number 7 is United. Number 8 is JetBlue. Number 9, Spirit. Number 10, Frontier. 11, Alaska Airlines. Number 12 is Delta. Number 13, Endeavor. Oh, I think I was confusing Endeavor with Envoy. Because I think Endeavor does Delta feeder flights. Then number 14 is Hawaiian. Number 15 is Southwest. So near the end, airline least likely to lose your luggage. Guess what the last two are?
Allegiant?
Allegiant is the least likely to lose your luggage.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So at the bottom of the barrel of losing your luggage, which is a good thing.
Do you want to know why? Allegiant are all direct flights.
In smaller airports,
Right.
too. Yeah.
So they, like, for example, locally, Allegiant flies out of PIE.
Out of St. Pete.
Right. And they'll fly, like, to Flint.
Like,
and they fly straight to Flint.
I know that Michelle and I, we're going to fly to Fargo, North Dakota for the weekend because I've never been to North Dakota, and that's the last state that I've got to visit. The last state of all the United States that I have not been to. I've been to all 49 states. I've been to 49 of the 50 states is what I should say. The only state to complete my 50-state run is North Dakota. And then apparently they fly nonstop from St. Pete, PIE to Fargo, North Dakota. So Michelle and I are just going to go to North Dakota for a weekend.
You got to go to Bismarck while you're there. That's a real hot spot.
You got to stay at the Radisson.
The Radisson.
The Radisson.
Oh, it's economical, is it?
But guess what? If we check bags, we're least likely to have our bags lost.
They might be beat up when you get them.
What do you mean they might be beat up? What is that?
Flight.
What, Allegiant's going to beat up my bags? I'm not going to check
just
any.
teasing.
I'm not checking any bags.
Allegiant has some bad guys in therapy right now. And they just punched a bag.
All right, so Southwest is number 15 and Allegiant's number 16. They are the airlines least likely to lose your luggage. Look at that. American Airlines is number 1.
And their commuter airlines number 2. Their
And
regional airlines.
Their feeder regionals number 2. Man, they ought to check into that. That's crazy. And then, of course, over the weekend, tons of problems. I know that Southwest, they had just a crap load of problems. They said, weather, but also Southwest claimed that they had technological difficulties.
Yeah, they blamed it on Y2K. That was weird.
What? No, they didn't.
That's hysterical.
No, they didn't blame it on Y2K.
That was the press. That was the pressure they let out. Well, because of the Y2K 22 years ago.
But there were thousands and thousands and thousands of flights canceled on Saturday and Sunday. And when I landed at Tampa International last night from Boston to Tampa at about 11:30 last night, when I got to the baggage belt, our flight was pretty much on time. Our bags, I think I was like among the first bags to come off the belt. But outside of the Delta baggage office, they had hundreds and hundreds of bags all lined up because of the issues with the weather and all the canceled flights. And it was a night for a lot of the country. It was a nightmare. And luckily, Michelle and I just were a little late getting into Boston late on Friday night, which was no problem. We were going right to the hotel anyway. And then coming back last night, we were fine. That's why I'm here bright and early with you guys doing the MJ Morning Show. So, all right, final chunk of MJ's next. I mentioned I had a whole bunch of celebrity stuff. Latest on Will Smith. There's more Will Smith news. Miley Cyrus. Oh, Savannah Guthrie. Joe Exotic. Yeah, you got to. Oh, Khloe Kardashian is being accused of something. Did you see this?
Ooh.
Hold on. All right, hang on. All of this next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105.
MJ Morning Show.
Seamless, man. Totally seamless, I tell you. Final Chuck MJ today. What's significant that's happening today?
Oh, there's a lot of things happening today.
Tell me something probably of number one significance today, Fester, Mr. Smart Guy.
Today will be one of 2 days a year that I actually watch college basketball.
That is correct.
I watched the games on Saturday night. I don't care about March Madness, but I always seem to watch Final Four.
Michelle, my lovely wife. Michelle, my lovely wife, cares more about college basketball and March Madness by maybe a factor of 5,000 than I do. Seriously, Michelle has become, over the years, a serious college basketball fan. And, of course, tonight is national championship.
Yeah, the finals, with North Carolina and Kansas.
So you got the Tar Heels and the Jayhawks. The Jayhawks, I believe, are number one seed, and Carolina's what, number 8? So tonight, a little after 8 o'clock Eastern time, it's March Madness coming to an end in April. So
They're only off by a week.
I'm thinking about a Jayhawk, but what exactly is a Tar Heel? Is that like the guys who used to work in like tar factories? And like, what is a Tar Heel?
That's when you walk on the beach with no shoes on and you get all the Exxon Valdez oil all over your feet.
Well, I can't do my usual which animal would kill each other in the real life, because a Jayhawk would attack a Tar Heel, and a Tar Heel is, who knows what the hell that is.
Hey, Fester, can you Google what the hell is a Tar Heel?
Roxanne's hot on it right now.
I'm hot on this Tar Heel beat.
Hot on it.
Okay,
hey, light that petroleum product on fire over there.
Workers who distilled turpentine from the sticky sap of pine trees and burned pine to produce tar, and they went barefoot during hot summer months, so that's what they were called, Tar Heels.
What an awful name for a team.
Obscure.
It's really
terrible.
It's really awful. I mean, I understand having your team go back to your state.
But wait a
somehow.
minute. But just think about this. That pine tar could really foul up the wings of the Jayhawk, which I don't even think exists. Is there a Jayhawk? For whatever reason, it's stuck in my head. There's not even really a bird called a Jayhawk. Is there? Yes, Coop.
Well, I was going to say, okay, the mascot is like a ram.
Of what?
Of North Carolina Tar Heels.
So what the hell does a ram have to do with a barefooted, 7-Eleven footed, barefoot? What?
Gross. Yeah, change your name to the 7-Eleven feet.
All right, so
hey, Fester,
I type in Jayhawk, just Jayhawk. Nothing about Kansas, just the word Jayhawk and then images, and there's no natural bird that appears.
You're correct, MJ. It is a fictitious
that's
bird.
what I'm saying. It's not even a real bird. And then the Tar Heels. So anyway, you got like a bunch of fake stuff going. By the way,
bunch of nonsense.
For those that don't know what 7-Eleven feet are.
What? Everybody
I call
knows
them
that.
Pickwick feet.
But I don't know where did the term come from?
From humanity. I mean,
realize
Circle
that.
K feet, 7-Eleven feet.
Convenience
And they're all
store
different.
feet.
All right, so 7-Eleven feet, it stems from like white trashy folks that would walk into 7-Elevens with bare feet.
But their foot is completely blackened
And
just by the dirt
bottoms
or
of
the
their
grime
feet
on the
are all
ground.
grimed up good.
You know what I call 'em?
That's 7-Eleven feet.
When I see my daughter's feet and they're dirty, I look at them and go, "Oh no, you have movie set feet. You have movie set feet." Because sometimes they'll catch an actor in a movie, and they'll cut away, and you'll see their feet are black. I guess from running around on set.
Yeah, that's movie set feet just doesn't sound as good as 7-Eleven
I think it's
feet.
funny.
My favorite is when the 7-Eleven feet are on the dash when you're driving.
Oh.
That's when they drive away after they gassed up.
You know what? That's another thing I don't like when people are driving. And usually it's the guy driving and their woman, it's usually it's usually 20s or 30s. And the woman is in the passenger seat, front seat, and they've got their feet up on the dash. The seat's all the way back. And their 7-Eleven feet are all pressed up against the window. Or another variation is you've seen person driving with the window open and the passenger's feet are hanging out the window. You got an even better view of 7-Eleven feet.
Last time I went to Maggiano's, there was a family next to me, and the dad was wearing flip-flops, and, like, you could see the bottom of his foot from the way he was sitting, and I couldn't even eat dinner. I was disgusted. I was going to, like, tell him off. Dude, what are you doing? I don't want to see your foot pad while I'm eating.
Anyway, big night tonight. I guess the Jayhawks are favored, right? The Jayhawks probably have the advantage over the Tar Heels, but who the hell knows? And then Coach K with Duke, that's a huge rivalry, for the game on Saturday night for, two North Carolina teams duking it out. You see what I did there?
The biggest rivalry in college
basketball. Yeah, listen. The Tar Heels and Duke, man, and then Coach K, that was his final game.
That was it.
So he goes out a loser.
How long did that guy coach? Like 50 years?
No, 106.
Wow. 106 years.
He was great for 140.
Yeah, his brain's actually in a jar with wires.
If you got a good look. Did you see the bumper sticker?
Can you be any more
I've seen a few.
Vague?
No.
Did I see the bumper sticker?
If we're talking about NCAA Final Four, there was one bumper sticker.
Tonight on TBS. Is it on TBS? I don't even know.
The whole time, MJ, Coach K, every time it cut to him, the reporter right behind Coach K had his laptop up.
Yep.
And he had the bumper sticker that said, Guster is for lovers.
What is Guster?
Guster's an old band. And some band. Look, here's Coach K. The entire game, you can see every cutaway of Coach Krzyzewski. Guster is for lovers on the back of some reporter's MacBook.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't know, but Fester has brought the entire show to a screeching halt.
Talk about.
There we go.
This show's heel is stuck in tar at the moment.
If anybody comes to this show for NCAA analysis, okay, this is nothing.
But Michelle's going to be watching that tonight at my house. That'll be our TV watching later tonight because she cares more than I care, to be quite honest. So that's the deal. So celebrity crap that we got to squeeze in. Little Netflix, Sony action on Will Smith. Did you see this? The fallout for Will Smith continues because Netflix and Sony are halting some of the projects that they had lined up. So this is going to start impacting Will Smith's wallet. I don't think he needs any more money. I'm sure he's got plenty, but you're never supposed to count other people's money. But some of his upcoming projects have been put on hold because of the Oscar slap. And those projects put on hold are projects with Netflix and Sony because of...
Keep my wife's name out your mouth!
Ow!
Did I see that Bad Boys 4?
He's like ruined his career. It's unbelievable.
Sony, listen, you're right. Sony is putting the brakes on Bad Boys 4, which had been gearing up ahead of the Academy Awards with the giant slap.
I don't really think SNL is that funny anymore, but I do have to say they did a really funny skit about Will Smith at the Grammys. At the Oscars.
I mean, he's going to come back eventually. I mean, Mel Gibson was like 2 rows behind him. So he's going to come back eventually.
That's true, but a couple of these projects are put on pause right now. How about Joe Exotic? We had a story last week about Joe Exotic was trying to expedite the divorce from... What was that dude's name? What was the
Dylan Passage?
Thank you.
Dylan Passage.
Dylan Passage. So he's trying to get the divorce between he and Dylan expedited because reports are that Joe Exotic is eager to marry another guy who he met behind bars.
Gosh, Joe, you're in your pants for once.
Prison romance.
Good for Joe.
Yeah, Joe Exotic apparently is now hooked up with John Graham, a fellow inmate at this federal correctional facility in Fort Worth, Texas.
He's in there for like 26 years now, right? I mean, he's got to make a life in there.
I love you, John Graham.
Yeah, exactly.
Something tells me he's not going to be there for 26 years.
Yeah, he met Graham a year ago in February of 2021 when they were both locked up at the federal facility in Fort Worth, Texas. And they're still together, even though Graham is no longer behind bars. Oh, this guy Graham is out.
Oh,
wait, hold on.
So Graham is out.
My little Graham cracker.
And, of course, Joe Exotic is still in.
I don't know why. I just don't see them as a couple.
What's the guy look like?
Oh, he looks beautiful. He's a good-looking guy.
All kinds of tats and everything.
Yeah.
He's all prison tatted. He's got neck tattoos. He's got it all. That's him.
If you're into a rugged ex-con look, he's got it.
Yeah. That's the deal.
What does he see in Joe?
Good mullet.
You know, I'm never going to financially recover from this.
I'm never going to financially recover from this.
Oh, you want to hear that? No. That's the door of the gift shop.
Gosh, Joe, how about some WD-40?
Exactly. That's the door of the gift shop.
Ladies and gentlemen, before you hear it on the news, I'm going to tell you myself. About an hour ago, we had an incident where one of the employees stuck their arm through the cage and a tiger tore her arm off. I can give you your money back, or I can give you a rain check. Why don't you come back at another date?
The lady put that little stuffed tiger keychain back right away.
Put this right back.
Put it right back in it. Miley Cyrus positive for COVID. You saw that?
Oh, wow.
There's been, did she perform at the Grammys last night remotely? Was she there? I
don't know.
Yeah, but she wasn't in Vegas because she was, I guess, positive. She wrote, traveling around the world playing for 100,000 people a night and meeting hundreds of fans a day. The chances of getting COVID are pretty high. She tweeted that on Friday. I have COVID now, but it was definitely worth it. Yeah, the positive diagnosis meant that Cyrus will miss out on performing at Steven Tyler's Grammy watch party at the Palladium, I guess. So she didn't perform. Listen, last couple of weeks, didn't Obama test positive? Hillary Clinton tested positive.
Yeah.
The Omicron thing, this BA1 or BA2, whatever the common variant, I think BA2 might be the common variant right now, at least in the U.S., still going around. A lot of people are still getting... Did I see the CIA director just got... seriously, the CIA director's got COVID in the last couple of days.
MJ, I got to tell you, it's not even news to me anymore. I mean, who cares if you get COVID now?
Fester!
What's wrong with you?
Are you drunk?
I think that you should care if you get COVID.
Really?
Yes.
But I think what he's saying, let me translate.
Thank
Fester,
you. Yes.
Are you saying that the version that seems to be going around now is more of a watered down cold version? So why are we talking about it?
Are you translating or are you quizzing me?
I'm translating.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure. No, who cares? MJ, every day, this person has COVID. This person has COVID.
And, there might have been an indication, if you really kind of look back at the Bruce Willis situation, the sad, sad situation of Bruce Willis, stories are coming out that he's been divesting real estate for a couple of years now, almost like he knew this was coming. Yeah, backing off and lightening the load and piling up the cash. But Bruce Willis has sold nearly $65 million worth of property as his health was declining over the last couple of years.
Smart.
Yeah, he's known this. He's been preparing for this decline for some time, say friends, and he's been selling off all of his prized property, including Manhattan, Westchester, and beyond. Willis has spent a number of years selling an astonishingly nearly $65 million worth of luxury properties. To focus on life with his family in California. It seems that this was kept quiet. It really was. With issues on the set of movies going back to 2020, firing a gun and not realizing what he'd done, wearing earpieces so they could feed him lines.
Well, did we talk? Can he die from this, or does he just degenerate into a mute?
I had this conversation with Michelle as far as this ailment that he has, this aphasia that he has, with dementia and Alzheimer's, that can kill you. But I don't know if this aphasia, I don't know if this is just going to lock him in to a world of not understanding language for like another 20 years. Bruce Willis is
torture.
Yeah, Bruce Willis is 67 years old. Is he going to live for another, potentially 20 years?
Of just hearing nonsense everywhere?
With this condition. That's the problem here. And I had this conversation with Michelle. I didn't see whether aphasia can end your life early like dementia and Alzheimer's can. Could he live with this for decades and be kind of like, like that locked-in syndrome? What do you call it? It's you know what I'm talking about? Like the butterfly and the diving bell and the butterfly thing. Remember that?
Well, when you say locked in, I mean, I usually think of like ALS because isn't that where?
No. There's this locked in syndrome where you're completely aware of everything around you, but you can't do a thing. It's like you are frozen, but you're aware of everything going on around you.
Oh my gosh! It's
Yeah, it was
nightmare.
the butterfly and the diving bell. It was a great movie. That's a phenomenal movie about that locked in syndrome.
Sounds amazing.
So,
all right, Froggy, it's a sad story.
Yeah, I know.
I saw a mental health expert over the weekend say that aphasia is a symptom of a bigger issue. There's no disease called aphasia.
Right.
It's like saying somebody is dizzy. If you're dizzy because of something else.
But is he going to take his life early, or is he going to have this degradation in his language and understanding and comprehension skills, but is he physically going to remain alive for years to come while his communication collapses, which would be, I would imagine, torture?
So sometimes aphasia is a side effect or a symptom that happens after a stroke or something like that. Other times it's because of a brain tumor and things pressing on different sides of the brain. Is this code word for him having a brain tumor that nobody's talking about just yet or his family hasn't released?
And then,
well, didn't they say there were injuries that he sustained during different filmings of stuff? So that could have caused the brain damage that caused a symptom of aphasia.
In one of the Die Hard movies, I think it was claimed that he lost like 2/3 of his hearing doing some kind of an explosive stunt. I think he fell through a ceiling and there was a blam, and I believe he lost like 2/3 of his hearing.
Your movie was The Diving Bell and the Butterfly.
Yeah, The Diving Bell and the Butterfly. I knew it was something about a diving bell and butterflies, but that movie was great. I mean, it's a sad movie.
Oh, good.
But
I love to watch my movies to make me feel real sad after.
Well,
Just
listen,
love it.
nothing
I just
like
love it.
Nothing like a good cry with a good movie.
I don't cry. I'm a man.
How about Old Yeller?
I cry at every movie. If there's a place to cry at a movie, I cry.
I could picture
Exactly. Fester was crying his eyes out during, the Vegas movie. What was that?
Vegas Vacation?
No.
Leaving Las Vegas?
No,
The Hangover?
The Hangover, yeah. Hangover. Yeah,
When
that's it.
Bambi got shot,
Yeah.
I laughed.
And then Fester,
my kid,
Fester knows me. Fester, again, you saw the item. Fester knows me damn well. There's one thing that I will not do.
And this guy videotaped it.
No, I sent that to you.
Everyone sent it to me.
Everyone did.
Yeah, you sent it. Coop sent
And
it.
I never sent anything.
Fester sent the story. And plus, listen, guys, I saw the story myself.
I know.
Yeah, but you're the weenie who's afraid.
Another hot air balloon ride crash. And listen, I've flown with the Blue Angels. I flew for 45 minutes in number 7 in the back seat of the 2-seater. I pulled 7.4 Gs for like 25 seconds. I broke the speed of sound, didn't get dizzy, didn't throw up, didn't black out.
So?
Yeah, my pilot, Major Nate Miller, back when I flew in 2007 with the Blue Angels over the Gulf outside of Pensacola, I got the real deal ride because I left from their air station. I got the real one.
The weather girl on News Channel 8 just did it, and she didn't puke either. What are you trying to brag about?
Well, because...
she's like 100 pounds.
Because I'm trying to point out that I'll do anything, but I won't do that.
You won't skydive either, huh?
Sounds like a terrible Meatloaf song.
And I would do it, but I won't do that. I won't skydive, and I won't do hot air balloons. Those are two things that I will not do.
And ride that ride in Orlando.
Oh, geez. What was that thing called? The tower drop? Whatever.
I would have done that like 10 days ago.
Listen,
you can't.
There was nothing wrong with that ride. There shouldn't have been a 340-pound, 6'5" kid in that chair where pictures show that it didn't even look like the bar was even remotely closed on that ride. Now, but hot air balloons and skydiving, I won't do either. But what's the latest here, Fester? A hot air balloon ride turned into a nightmare and nearly fatal. A group of folks went down. This happened in Paris, California, and a guy was videoing the whole thing.
He has his phone rolling because
yeah.
you could tell by the angle of the video that he has a phone propped upright, and he videotapes his whole crash.
He said, my hot air balloon experience was going great until winds picked up. The clip then cuts into a freaky scene. It shows the basket hurtling down toward the ground at a high rate of speed. and then it makes contact and starts to be dragged along the ground. And the guide is screaming to everyone, hang on, hang on. Is there cursing in this? Can we play the audio?
Brace for impact.
Hey, Coop, can we play the audio, or is there all kinds of cursing in this thing?
I have actually not watched the video.
Oh, you want to take a chance? You just want to roll the video?
Oh, yeah, let's try it.
Oh, great.
I don't want to get fired today.
I'm not involved.
All right.
But yeah, so everybody survived. Everybody seems to be okay. But what a scary experience.
So I will do just about everything except I will not skydive, and you're not going to find me in a hot air balloon. And Michelle found that out earlier. When I was working out in West Palm before I came to Tampa Bay in '94, I was working for a radio station in it was a station that was originally in Fort Pierce, but covered the Treasure Coast. It's like Fort Pierce and the Palm Beaches. And our studios originally, for the first couple of months that I was working there, we were in Fort Pierce in downtown. It was a pit. It was like a sewer where I was working, and there was some kind of a hot air balloon festival. And Michelle, we were not engaged yet. And Michelle was down for the weekend, and there was a hot air balloon festival. She's like, I want to go. I want to ride. I said, we are not getting in that hot. That was like 1993, a year before I came to Tampa to join the Power Pig and launch the MJ and BJ morning show. I said, we are not at all going on a hot air balloon. So that's when Michelle found out that that's one of the things that I will not do. Hey, before we get out of here today, safety is crucial. Safety is job number one, and that's why I try not to put myself in unsafe situations. And there's a reason why Safe Touch, the security company, they've got safe in their name, Safe Touch. How about that? Hey, a Safe Touch security system, folks, are the most advanced systems that are offered out there. Safe Touch systems, professionally designed with layer after layer after layer. Starts with a yard sign. You got the only guaranteed response in the industry. You got the Safe Touch perimeter guard cameras. Listen, if you've got a home or a business and you are not protected with Safe Touch, now, I'm going to give you all the contact information here in just a second. You realize that with Safe Touch security systems, you're alerted before the crime even happens. Hey, how's that for a concept? In most cases, you get to watch the crime being committed after the fact. With Safe Touch, it's always on. Safe Touch cameras watch for events before they happen. Get the Safe Touch dome of protection. How about the famous Safe Touch two-way communicator, for instance? Listen, bottom line is, Safe Touch is what you need for your home or business. This day and age, if you're not protected, what are you doing? Professionally installed, monitored locally, costs less than you think. Call Safe Touch for a free demonstration. 888-723-8632. Or just go to safetouch.com. All the information's right there. Safetouch.com. That's safetouch.com. And tell them that MJ sent you. State license EF233. All right, Roxanne, anything else before we get out of here?
No. Mm-mm. Oh, I did find out the Taste of South Tampa, the people who won, I found out.
Who won? Yeah,
well,
Roxanne was a judge, sampled everything, voted, and then left before the winner was announced.
Shake Shack was the big winner, and then the Nothing Bunt Cakes. I don't know if you've had those. Those are really yummy.
Nothing Bunt Cake? What is it, invisible?
No, it's a play on words. Oh. Like Nothing Bunt Cakes.
Like nothing but...
Yeah.
Oh, nothing but cake.
Yeah.
Nothing but cakes.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to say it right.
Well, yes. Show's over.
Nothing but cake.
All right. We're done, guys. Anything else? Coop, are we done?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, we'll see you back here tomorrow. I already have a pile left over for tomorrow, so we'll see you back here. Website's loaded, mjmorningshow.com. That's mjmorningshow.com. You need to drop me a line. It's MJ at mjmorningshow.com. Folks, have a great day, and let's be careful out there.
Wake me up. Good morning. Hear the latest MJ Morning Show podcast on the Q105 app, powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.